Okay, the stream deck's working again. Let's go. Let's go. Everything's working. Yes. Good morning. It is Tuesday. How are you? How is everyone? I think today is going to be a long one. We have a lot to cover. We have a lot to talk about today. We're going to get to the big story in a little bit. I think everybody at this point has done a little research and been reading a lot of things. A lot of negative things about the Gabe Cube. We'll get to that in a little bit. We'll let everyone get in here so we can all argue at the same time together. It's good to have you guys here. We're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to start with last night here in a minute. And then we're going to go through, and I'm going to brag for a second. Totally unlike me. We'll get to all that. But first things first, good morning. For the ones that are here, Uncle Bubba. It's 11 o'clock. I was going to say, you're up early, bro. Nah, it's 11. It's okay. You're good. Still enjoying your morning mimosa, Bubba? With Shuda? Smokey! Okay! Smoke, did you stay on late longer? I know I kind of bitched out, but did you guys stay on a little bit longer than me? Or did you guys all throw deuces after I left? Mr. Botastic. How you doing? Hey. Hell yeah, I love that game. I need to start a second account so I can PvP though. There you go. I'm sitting on my mom's dog. Dog sitting my mom's dog. There you go. Beat Runner, good morning. How you doing? Welcome from over there in YouTube land. I like having the chat over here so that everyone from every platform, well, 2 platforms now, are all part of the conversation. So we had Kick before that, but we only had 1 or 2 people over there. Anyhow, you streaming tonight? I think you said yesterday. Is Bubba streaming? Oh, yeah, that's right. Bubba figured out his stream stuff. Did you put something in Discord? I can't remember. I apologize if you did. You played about 2 more. Okay. All right, good. All right, we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit because there's a big issue with this thing that needs to be addressed immediately, and we're gonna get to that here in a minute. I'm gonna let everyone start pouring in. We're gonna say our good mornings. We're gonna make our rounds, and then we're gonna start some convo here. I get up around 7 or 8, chilling with Shooter in Dallas. Mom's dog. No, I know. I'm just giving you shit. The older I get, I've always been a night owl. But it seems like the last couple years, especially in the last month, and I think it's just the warm weather, dude, I'm up at 6, 7 o'clock. I can't go back to sleep even if I wanted to. And I've always been the guy that, you had to slap me. I had to, drag myself to the shower. And then the shower totally rejuvenates me. If I don't take a shower in the morning and I'm running late or something, which is very rare, I just can't get my shit together. I just feel like crap all day long. A morning shower is the only way to wake me up, really. If you have a morning beer in the shower, a beer shower, even better. Even better. Just a bottle of mimosa sitting in there. Around 1050 player count was at 35. Around 1050 player count was at 30. Okay, I got you. Okay. That's what I want to address, Smokey. We're going to talk about it a little bit here. If I get booted, oh well, but I mean, I need to do something. Somebody fucking needs to do something. And I like Blitz. Blitz is a good guy. Blitz 5 and Friends. I don't know if you guys remember him. He was one of the first PUBG partners from the original class of PUBG partners. And I had some interactions with him when I was a PUBG partner. Not a bad guy. He's a pretty good community leader. But he needs to do something, and I have an idea. I have an idea, as I usually do. We'll get to that though. Yes, I'll stream tonight. Jump in, let me know how the stream looks. I did, but forgot to explain it. Okay, you're all right. You're fine. Bubba, when you go live, please put it up in the community in our Discord. Put your live notice in there for us, if you would please, so we all know. And then I think most of us are, I'm still following you from back in the DMZ days because you haven't really streamed a lot in the last couple of years, but I'm still following you because I'm a homie. That's what I do. Not to brag, but even the ones that leave here, if they stream before, I still follow them. You may not like what I have to say, but I always consider you a friend. I'll start streaming around 7 or 8. Sweet. Okay, cool. That's 7 or 8 Eastern time. Bubba's from Michigan as well. I doubt it. You'll be fine. Worst case, you can't play. I know, and that's okay. I'm willing to take that risk. Don't get me wrong. I like the game. There's some fun to be had there, but there's some very glaring issues and some things that need to be changed. But I mean, that's just who I am. What new game is it? Okay, hold on. Just give me a second, and we will get right to it. I'm not sure how to do. I've been neglecting streaming KZU area. That's okay. We're Bubba. This is what interests us. You basically just ghosted everybody. You found Arc Raiders, and then you just went all in, dude. Which is fine, and I can't fault you for that, okay? Because I've done these things before as well. I'm glad you're coming back around again. But we want to see in that time frame that you just went off grid. We want to see what did that. Where are you now? Are you like an Arc Raider? Like, are you a pro? Are you a pro player there? We want to see Bubba tearing shit up in some Arc Raiders. I don't really care for the game myself, but I watch people play it. I'll watch you play it. I want to see Bubba screaming, having a good time. So I will definitely be partaking in the stream tonight. I'll have you up. The wife and I think we're going to watch a movie later tonight, but I will have you up and I will be commenting from time to time. I got my notifications on, so if anything, I'll drop this link when he goes live. Okay, good. There you go. Thank you, Smokey. I was thinking about doing the same thing too. Trying to give him a little help here. Mark for life. Good morning. How you doing? I've been called a sweat by a 22-year-old kid. That's always great, isn't it? I like when these arrogant little shits, the ones that think they're good, and they're carried by their teammates who are usually good but don't talk shit. I love when they call me a battle dad. At first I was like, what the fuck is a battle dad? And then it's a derogatory term for a guy that works all week and only plays on the weekends because he has a full-time job. So apparently there's apparently that's a bad thing, that you work for your family. If you don't game all the time, then you're just a battle dad. Weekend battle dad. Well, you know what? Some of us battle dads are putting these kids in the ground, so fuck them. It was hell yeah, Bubba. See, it feels good, doesn't it? Especially the little shit talkers. It's always the shit talkers, man. And then they get put down. You put them down with the skill set that you've been, putting together for the last 30, 40 years of gaming that you've been doing. Meanwhile, these kids got maybe, 15, 20. You put these kids down and then they immediately start, spamming the cheat button, screaming at you. Cheater, cheater. Just because you're younger doesn't mean you're better. Anyhow, free to escape. Hey-oh, there we go. Okay. Now the conversation can start. So last night was my first endeavor into this new BR game that is being developed. I'm gonna tread lightly here, as lightly as I can. But at the end of the day, like Smokey was saying, the worst case scenario is they just don't let me play anymore, which, I mean, that's fine. That's fine. But we need to figure something out here. This game is interesting. It's going to be for PC and console. It's only being tested on the PlayStation 5 and this is for Bubba. We need to get Bubba in here, but then Bubba can't play with us, so this is unfortunate. But PlayStation 5 and PC. It started out controller. I think originally it was going to be a console-only game. It sounds like it's going to be PC and console, and eventually with cross-play maybe. Because there is aim assist, so this game will probably have cross-play. It's not going to be like PUBG, where it's separated platforms because of the aim assist situation. But anyhow, this game is very interesting to say the least. I think it has it could have a foothold in the industry. BRs are dying out, but this kind of makes things interesting. There's a lot of issues with it. I mean, it is a pre-alpha, so I mean, there's some things there. I'm not really big with the each person, the classes and the powers and shit like that. But this game's got a little something different going on. I need more time to assess. But yesterday, after trying to figure some of these things out, I just ended up focusing mainly on the guns and the gunplay, and not really too focused on the additional aspects of the game. Probably my fault, and that's probably why we lost some gunfights. A lot of server lag and things like that. But the biggest problem this game has right now is players. I think at the peak yesterday, we had 150, maybe 170 players. And I still don't know. I asked a couple times, and I think Free tried to tell me, and I was either not listening or I don't know. But I think every game has 60 players in it, 40 to 60. Is that right? If it's like PUBG, then it's 100. And I didn't really know. I think that it's kind of like Super People, where the less people, they start you off in a much smaller area of the map. I think it's around 40. Okay, so it's a big map, but it's kind of like, there's other games that do it. Super People is the one I can remember. But they start you off, there's a big map, but they start you off with a smaller circle right off the bat. Teams of 3. It's like I said last night. Okay, so at the very end of all this, and I was kind of like giving these guys my review. Basically, what this game does to the BR genre, it's kind of like, remember X Defiant? X Defiant, kind of like what X Defiant did to Call of Duty, this game kind of does to PUBG. It's just kind of chaos. It's just chaotic. And I think it can do well, but it's got a long road ahead of it. It's got a very, very long road ahead of it. We're probably talking next year, maybe around this time next year. But by then, will BRs be a thing of the past? I don't know. There you go. Music is a little loud. Okay. It's just goofy weird. Okay, so right now it's just being called Project Valor. That's the code name for it. That might end up being the real name. I don't know. There's not much information out there because it's under a very strict NDA. We're not really supposed to be talking about it, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and try, because we need players. We really need players. So I'm going to, and I probably shouldn't even do this, but I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. Free, I don't want you involved in this, because I know you like this game. You've been playing this every week, and after our conversation and basically just playing with you last night, I can tell you're really into this game right now. So I don't want you to risk anything. So you just listen, but stay out of the conversation. I don't want you to lose this, okay? I'm gonna try to recruit some people. Between 4 or 5 of us here in the community, we have invites for you guys. Now, again, if you have PlayStation 5, so Bubba, you can join if you want. The problem is we can't get you. You can only join people from the same platform. So you can only play with PlayStation 5 guys, but maybe some PS5 guys out there that'd be interested in playing this game, and then you can kind of get your own squad together and just meet us out there in the battlefield. We've got codes, guys. And I'm going to put this in Discord. I'm going to send it to everybody, because we got a couple 100 people in Discord. I'm going to try to get as many people involved as possible. The tough part for this, and I said this so many times last night, these guys are probably sick of me. The day that they picked was weird, and the time is even weirder. It's only available on Monday from 8 o'clock at night Eastern time. Your time may vary, until there's less than 20 people, I think. So at 10:50, Smokey was saying, I quit out a little after 10 o'clock. I just need to go to bed. No, I was having fun, and I wish I could have played a little bit longer, but it was time to go to sleep. In that half-hour time period, it dropped down to 32 players from the peak was 172 hours before that. So we need help. They need help. And I'm not sure why they're not. At least can I throw in a teaser out there? Leak something, guys. Come on. Just leak something to get some interest going. I've never been a part of a playtest where it was less than 500 people. So this is very strange to me. But I'm also thinking that a lot of people kind of day one, they played, and then, they're like, this isn't good. And every time people get invited, they play it for a little bit, and they're like, yeah, I'm good on this. So as far as how many people were originally invited to this thing and how many people actually play, it's probably a very weird number. But either way, we need people. and I'm going to I'm gonna I'm gonna do my best. Yeah, Craft and PUBG. I was a PUBG partner, and I still like them, and I would love to go back and be a PUBG partner. I'm just not really interested in playing PUBG anymore. But now this game is kind of interesting. Kind of piques my interest, as I say. It was my buddy's oldest son who called me a sweat. He's a good kid. Okay. 1440 P60, so pretty. Thank you. Man, you can see every pore. You might even see a couple gray. You get any grays in here? Any grays? My wife hates when I pick my grays out. She says I like it, and I'm like, I'm not ready to be old just yet. If I didn't tell you how old it was, most of the people still think I'm in my 30s, which is fantastic. I'll take that. But I'm not trying to look any older than I actually am. Gray Zone update this week and a ton of crappy drops, and I'll be streaming it. Same. What game? Project Valor. But there's so much work that they need to do. Still, that sucks if you risk not playing anymore. You're already on the fence of love for games and poking a bear to be unable to play more. Well, and I agree. I've been in a lot of NDAs. I've been involved in a lot of play tests. But the thing is, I've never been in one, again, where there's so few people playing. It's the same people over and over and over and over. And I think most of them are devs, right? So I don't know. And there's a lot of performance issues. Like when we first got in there, Free tried to warn us because he keeps up with all the information. I didn't read anything so when he was making fun of people, I'm like, I didn't read it either. But I didn't realize, and he would try warning us, but Smokey and I kind of screwed Smokey over because I'm telling him, dude, set it to this. And we got slightly better performance until we got out of the plane. And then when we hit the ground, everything's just kind of a mess. But it's I don't know. I think there's something here. It's kind of fun. I'm definitely going to be playing more. I'm definitely going to play next Monday. I would like to try to get some people. I'm going to campaign this week and try to get more people in there. So we'll see. Free, if you could do the same, man. I know you are, and I think you're kind of leading the charge, the crusade into this game. So I'll back you, bro. I got your 6. I would like to see this take off. We have tons of codes, and I can get more. Blitz has already dropped me several. Okay, good. Oh, Blitz 5. I don't know if you watched him. I don't know if you know who he is, but he's been a PUBG partner forever. I had some interactions with him back in the day. Maybe 42 is chaotic fun. Just originally it was 8 to 11, and then they couldn't hold the numbers after that. I assume is why they kind of just whenever the servers are bare. Got to get that play date changed to a Friday, Saturday night. That's what I said. That was one of the last things I said to these guys. Is that what are they doing? If they really want to show this game off, they really want to get people involved. You got to have this thing on like a Friday or Saturday night and start it early, man. Start it like 6 o'clock. 8 o'clock's a little late in the day. You're asking a lot of people, especially on a Monday. They've already had a rough day because it's a fucking Monday. And most of them just want to chill on the couch, just chill. And at 8 o'clock, you're asking them to go play a broken game, which again, is understandable because it's a pre-alpha. They want you to go play this broken game and try to have some fun with it, which I think I did. Was I a good sport yesterday, guys? I only called one guy a cheater. Was I a good sport? You could be honest. I haven't played with anybody in a long time. I forgot my manners. I tend to, if I play solo for too long, I tend to forget my manners. So there. Most people drop at 11 because OG's been used to that schedule since last year sometime. Yeah. And unfortunately, that's kind of what it is. I mean, these are guys that have been playing every week. So you're going up against, I wouldn't call them sweats. They just have more time under their belt, right? I didn't see any, there wasn't really any sweaty players, I guess. But my definition of sweaty is different than most. I didn't really see any of that. I saw just guys just having a good time, really, that just happened to have a little more time in the game, or, the game was just, I hit a couple headshots that I was kind of surprised too, because there was so much lag in between fights. I'm like, I hit that? Okay, I'll take it, But there is some fun there. The map surprisingly is not bad either. Like there's cover pretty much everywhere you go. There's not a lot of wide open spaces. There's a lot of tree cover. I think the map is pretty solid. I wouldn't even mind seeing that map in PUBG. I think that would be great. If the game doesn't make it, put that map in PUBG. Hi, Wolfbite. How you doing? Oh, it was great to play with you last night. Thanks, man. Fuck manners in the game. That's right. I was honestly surprised how well mannered you were, and also a little surprised how much you seemed to have fun. I mean, I love PvP. I love playing with the homies. I mean, that's you kind of. It kind of reminded me of playing PUBG with the boys back in the day. It really did. Free was the most talkative. Free, you were just chatty Cathy last night. You were so excited. And then Smokey wasn't talking at all. I kind of Smokey, what's going on, brother? What are you doing? What are you doing? But that's how Smokey is. If you play with Smokey a lot, when he gets dialed in, that's when I know something's up. If we're talking and he goes like radio silent, he's on to something. He's got the scent, dude. Where's Smoke? Let's follow Smokey. He's got something. What you got, boy? Let's go. He's our bloodhound, really. Smoke and I both said that we weren't sure you would like it. I mean, I do. There, some of the things in there. Again, I don't want to. I'm trying to tread very lightly here, so I don't, screw myself. But there's some aspects of the game I'm not. I don't know. I don't like RPG stuff. I'm not really into that. I'm more just let's balance it out. Everyone has the same. They land with nothing. They pick up a gun. They get attachments, and then we fight each other. That's what made PUBG so damn good. But they're trying to make this something different, and they're trying to appeal to more people, a bigger audience, and I get that. So, I mean, I just need time. I just got to learn it. And once I learn it, I mean, it's just like anything else. But I genuinely had a good time last night. So thank you guys. Like you said, it's a pre-beta, so can't get upset if things aren't going smooth. Right. And hopefully next, I'll pay a little more attention in the Discord. But hopefully they fix the issue so we can start using DLSS. Because, I mean, you got to remember a lot of these games, especially because I'm sure this is Unreal Engine 5, right? When these games are in alpha, until they become like 1.0 and they're out after beta, from what I've learned from these devs is they build the game and then they optimize it after the fact. So we probably will never see really any optimization until the game is almost ready to go. But it'd be nice to be able to utilize that because even on the machines that we have, I wouldn't say we're high end, but we're pretty mid grade. We're higher mid. And we're getting 60, 70 frames on, native. I like a little bit more. I like to be 100 feels good. I could fluctuating 100 be perfect. Smoke like a bulldog. That's right. So alpha testing for this game. Yes. The rogue aspect where things stay with you between runs is great twist to standard BO. I didn't really understand any of that either, like the burnout and stuff like that. I didn't really know what was going on. I just readied up. I just get me in there. I want to kill people. So I'm gonna push this agenda on our Discord. I'm gonna try to recruit some people. We need more faces. We need more players in here. Maybe we can get like Manic. We got a bunch of new PC people in here. Huckleberry. I don't know. He's a dad though, and I think he's got younger children, so I don't know if that time frame would work for him. But we can get can't get Penguin. We can get can't get Mark for Life. Huckleberry, Manic. There's a few people we can get in here. I'm sure there's more I'm forgetting. I'm sorry. So, all right, moving on. We'll move on to the next here. We got a bunch of games coming out in the next couple days. I know Impulse comes out tomorrow. The 24th, I think there's a handful of things going on. Gray Zone Warfare, their next patch is tomorrow. I think the Steam drops or the Twitch drops start tomorrow. But Impulse is the game that I've been kind of keeping an eye on. I've had the demo on here for like 2 weeks and I still haven't played the game. Has anybody played Impulse? Is anybody interested in it? I wish Reckless was here. Is anybody looking forward to that game? I think it's going to be free to play. I'm not 100%. Here, let's get rid of this. All right, I'm just gonna look it up real quick here. Let me jump on Steam. I have a feeling it's going to be free to play. It may be a couple bucks, even if it's like $15. If you don't know what it is, Impulse is like spiritual successor to Titanfall. Because I mean, at this point, we can just pretty much assume that we're never going to get a Titanfall 3. We'll put it on the shelf next to Half-Life 3. A great idea, and probably never happen. this studio, which also made Splitgate, which is a great throwback to the old school arena shooters, they took it upon themselves to just, I guess, say, fuck it, and we're just going to create our own. I have seen very little video on this. I have seen very little anything, which kind of scares me because I really want this game to be nice for people, you know? And I would like to get involved as well. I just haven't taken it upon myself to play it yet. So let me just take a look here. Store page. Okay. Oh, I can't even play it anymore. Never mind. It must only ran for a short period of time. Because all it says is uninstall. I can't even play it anymore. So either way, okay. So this comes out tomorrow. Sometime tomorrow. But I don't see anything about pricing yet, so I don't know. Doesn't say anything in the... So they're talking about keeping early access for probably a year, 9 to 12 months. We're looking at probably a year here. But I think Splitgate, when that came out, that was in early access as well for a while, wasn't it? The first one or whatever. I don't see anything here that says free to play. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. Unless anybody else has any information for me on this. I just don't see it here. So either way, okay. So that game comes out tomorrow. I'll put things in the Discord and everything for you guys, so you guys stay on top of that. That's hitting PC and console same day. I'm pretty sure. I know Xboxes, which means PlayStation probably as well. So you're a slacker. How do I join the Slacker Club? Just be a slacker yourself and you're already in, man. That's it. You don't need an invite. So Impulse, Gray Zone Warfare, new update tomorrow, I do believe. Let's verify that. And then we're going to have Twitch drop starting tomorrow as well. Some of them do look lackluster. I don't know. I kind of like this. The whole Vietnam shit. I think it's cool. Now, it'd be nice if the cosmetics, what game was it? I think it's PUBG. Where whatever helmet you put on that gives you protection, you can utilize the skin to cover the helmet. Now, whether that's going to be a thing in here, that'd be great. So like there's a guy with a backwards ball cap, right? That'd be cool to wear, but if it doesn't give you any protection, I'm not going to wear it, right? So could we just put on a regular helmet and then the skin automatically overrides, which would be cool. But I'm looking forward to a couple of these. They're not anything crazy. I still think the flannels are where it's at. But those are modern operators, the flannels. I like this older GI look, you know, pre-Desert Storm, when Army was green, where the primary colors for the Army were green. So I'm interested in this. I'll definitely get them all. One of the sets, the very first one for the 2 subs, that looks like what you get when you buy the supporter edition anyhow. So I don't even know, like, it look, I mean, almost identical. Is that what it is? Are they giving people an opportunity to get the supporter edition clothing without buying supporter edition? It seems counterintuitive. I don't know. But everything else, okay, so the Vietnam stuff, the helmets are cool, man. And the shirts, they have No Way Home on the back. Yeah, I mean, these are cool. But I want to be able to wear them and get the same protection I would get not wearing them. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. I am excited for this. So this comes out tomorrow, I do believe. Where's the confirmation here? A lot of fixes. I have not gone through any of this stuff just yet, guys, but that is happening tomorrow. Running from June 25th, so it starts on Friday, not tomorrow. From June 25th through July 15th, there's going to be, every week, there's going to be something going on. So we are going to be playing. Are they wiping again? No. They only do that for the big updates, and they've been on the fence about even doing a wipe the next time, which I think they need to. I think they need the wipe every time they do a big update. until we get to 1.0. I think they just need to force it and be done with it. So yeah, that's happening. We are going to be going back to streaming games from time to time. I'm thinking I'm trying to balance this out. I love doing this. I love this. I love the conversations we have. I love this kind of a podcast. But instead of having a guest with me here, I'm talking directly to you guys and I'm answering your questions. And we're learning together. I love this aspect. So I'm going to keep this. I'm just going to change it a little bit. And then I think 2 days a week, maybe 2 days a week, we actually go back and we play games for a few hours. I'm going to try that for a while and see how things go. Especially if I'm doing this in the morning when you guys are working. I know a lot of you guys have me kind of in your ear or in the background. So a conversation is probably better than me screaming and shooting sounds while you guys are trying to listen. So that's the plan. We got to get Peak. I think Peak would actually like this game you were talking about earlier. It's just not available on Xbox, which sucks. We might be able to get Rick. I don't know. We'll see. I'll put everything in Discord for you guys. But there we go. Is the Twitch drops in the update the same day? Did I miss that? Maybe that's what it is. It just says, oh no, that's the 0.44. I'm just going to say that it must come out on it's got to be Friday. I'm just going to say Friday until I can see anything different here. So I know I'm missing something, but tomorrow Impulse comes out and I'm going to be taking that for a test drive if it's free to play. I don't know if I'm going to buy it. I want to play it first before I, shame on me for not playing the demo, but I want to do that. Sorry, chat. I run my mouth too long. How do I join the Slacker Club? That's funny. Stay in bed till noon, ignore all obligations, responsibilities, put a headset on and game. That's right. Walk right past your wife, stiff arm her right in the face and go right to your gaming station and you're good to go. He's Beatdown can't got to get Gray Zone going today. I might play later today. I don't know. I still have a list of things I got to get done. Don't get the big D free. Well, I'm not married, so I will be okay with that. Plus, wife and kids went swimming, so I'm home alone. The whole that whole sentence. I'm not married, but my wife is with. I don't know if your state has, because you're in St. Louis, well, you're in Maryland, right? No, Louisiana. No, where the fuck am I? Missouri. You're in Missouri. Jesus Christ. Do they have common law marriage out there? In Michigan, it's 7 years. If you're with your significant other for 7 years, they call it a common law marriage. So you may be married, not even realize it. Like that Viva La Dirt, the Viva La Dirt skit where he's talking about, his roommate. His roommate, he didn't realize he was married. His roommate has kids and this and that. And it's kind of the same thing. All right, Smokey's lurking. We'll see in a little bit. Thanks for looking and supporting the stream. I'm not married either, so I'm safe being a slacker too. Thursday drops. This says the 25th. What is today? Oh, today's Tuesday. Why do I think today's Wednesday? No, you're right. 100%. You're right. So Thursday is the drops, and I assume that the updates that day as well. I'm not seeing anything on the Steam page, but that's probably my problem. Every 3 days, marriage is just paperwork. I'm okay with it. This is a major PvP update, so not really the biggest for us. Yeah, I haven't even really paid attention to it. I haven't really looked at anything Gray Zone in a while. I apologize. If I get married again, I hope she games too. Quaker Oats! Yeah, Switch drops start when update drops. There you go. Speaking of Peak, he's been streaming lately at the very bottom of the announcement. Okay. Yes. Is it at the very bottom? That's what I assumed here. In addition, unlock official this will be available throughout the entire campaign, starting from blah blah blah. I don't see it. I missed it. Either way, Peak has been streaming a lot lately. Yes, I've been in there watching him religiously. That's my homie, man. I feel like I'm there with him in spirit because I mean, either way, even if I'm playing with Peak, I'm usually in his backpack anyhow. So this way, I can just be like, hey, you know, I'm still in his backpack. Take me with you, brother. All right. Free will be back in a little bit. So we've covered Project Valor, Impulse, Gray Zone. You need to play with him, BD? I know. I'm an asshole. The other thing is, you guys might have, some of you guys saw, and I'm going to brag for a second here. Not that, you know, it means anything, but I got into the War Dogs playtest. I am so excited. I mean, I've been kind of complaining about this because I signed up for this thing fucking months ago. I think when Little Hog sent it to me. Little Hog's been pretty damn good with his recommendations. Thanks again, Little Hog. One game that probably nobody's talking about that I'm really excited for, and I can't wait for it to come back out, maybe in a playtest or just drop the fucking game, is that Naquan Blast Paradise. Never did I think I'd play a game like that or even be interested in a game like that, and my God, it sucked me in. Crazy, man. It's crazy. If you step out of your comfort zone once in a while, you find things you might like. So thank you, Hog. There you go. War Dogs is going to start on Friday, I do believe, and it's 2 days. It's under a strict NDA. I can't have, there's no pictures, no video, and no streaming, obviously. But it didn't say anywhere in there that I saw that I can't talk about it. So I'm going to fucking talk about it. I don't want to lose my spot because I'm really excited to see what the hell this game's all about. I'm still confused about what it is. It looks like it's kind of a King of the Hill Battlefield kind of hybrid, some sort. I don't know. But I want to get in there. I just want to try it. I just want to get in there and figure it out. Maybe this is the next game. I don't know. It sounds interesting, and we need new things. We need new things to turn the industry around instead of the same old shit over and over and over again. They're still home for others. I declined the email because I won't be around anyway. I got you. Okay. Yeah, so it's only Friday and Saturday, and the first thing they ask you is, will you be involved? You had 24 hours in the email to respond to them. So if you guys signed up for it, the emails went out this morning. Check your email if you're interested in playing. If you're not, just ignore it and they'll just give it to somebody else. But just because you got an invite doesn't mean you're in. You have to confirm with them. And I love this. I love this. I've been in a lot of play tests, and there's been a lot where they invite 5,000 people, and then the day we go to play, there's only 500. So I like the fact that they are confirming reservations with people. I wish they would let us stream it, but that's fine. I'm going to follow the rules. I'm going to be a good boy. And then I'm going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it Monday, maybe Saturday, Sunday. I don't know. The wife's been pushing me to do a Jackbox stream. That is coming. Details to come. But the wife, you'll thank her later. She has been pushing me to do this. She keeps reminding me. So we're going to do it. And she's going to be part of it in some capacity. You guys might actually finally see her. For those that follow me on Facebook, you already know. We finally saw Free to Escape's not wife on Saturday. That was a cool experiment. Free, that was a good idea to do that. She seemed to have a good time. If you accept and don't log in within a certain amount of time, they will pull you and give it to someone else. Yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're not going to fuck around. They want people that are serious about this, not just the guys that go sign up for every play test and cry when they don't get in. You know, they want the guys that are gonna play the game, that are legitimately excited about this. So I'm excited. Her first venture in front of the camera. Yeah. You know, my wife was very afraid of the camera, and I tried getting her involved back in the PUBG days. We were going to do a split stream. I was going to have 2 cameras set up where she was playing on hers, and the stream was my point of view, but you had both cameras. and she wasn't into it. She wasn't. And then like, I don't know, like a year later, at her job, she started a podcast with cameras, and now every Friday she does that. She's in charge of this thing. It's crazy. And she has no problem with the camera. She acts like she's shy, but once she gets going, man, the camera loves her. So we both do this. We both do something like this to a certain degree. She's amazing. Her first venture in front of the camera. Do you think she'll do it again? Do you think she'll stick to it, or maybe do more? Penguin's back. How you doing, Penguin? Penguin, hi. Good. I'm glad you're back. If you're leaving, the next part of this conversation, I need you to be here. So you let me know when you could at least give me an ear, because I need you involved in this next part of the conversation, because the big conversation of the day is heavily leaning towards Penguin. So there you go. She streamed from the PlayStation on her account, but didn't really like it, so I was surprised. What do you mean? What do you mean she didn't like it? So her gameplay was PlayStation instead of on the PC. So instead of playing on the PC under her account, she played on. So you just ran a capture card? That's interesting. We got a couple ideas in the works. Good. I was here at the start, but then had internet issues, so missed the first 20-ish minutes. No problem. I saw you, brother. I see you. I keep an eye, thanks to Mix It Up, I keep an eye of who's here and who's not. That way I can call you out. It's not 100% accurate, so sometimes it shows people that really aren't here, and then sometimes people are here and it doesn't show them, but it gives me a good idea. She didn't like streaming a year or two ago, so I was surprised she liked Saturday stream as much as she did. Well, I mean, you got to remember when you first start out streaming, you're streaming to nobody, and then you're streaming to one person, then you're streaming to 2 people, then you're streaming to 5 people, and and then it starts to catch fire. She stepped into your community, so she had 15 people right out the gates. And I'm telling you, when you're streaming, I mean, unless you're different than me, I can't say this for everyone, but if you're streaming, you probably want to be in front of people, right? So if you start streaming and you immediately have 15 people that are already you already kind of know, and they're already kind of, that's a way different experience than when you first start out streaming and you've got nobody and you're talking to yourself. Trust me, I did it for a while. Until we built this thing up. So she kept better numbers than me. Because it was like, for everybody that watches you, this was something big, right? It's not you, it's your wife, and how well can she do? And, it's the curiosity. Who is this person, So absolutely, dude. But she can now do this a couple times on your account, and then she can go stream on her own. And there's a good guarantee that, a good percentage of the people that she streamed for on your channel will go watch her on her channel now. So that's nice. That's nice, man. That's cool. So good job. Oh, the other thing is, I promised the wife that at some point I will do a co-op stream with her on some game. I don't know what it is. But the options she gave me, I'm like, no, we got to find something else. So we're gonna find a game. We'll probably end up gaming for you guys together, which will be hopefully a lot of fun. Summary showed over 20 average in 3.5 hours. There you go. Yeah, the couple of times I was in there watching, it was like between 12 and 15, which is that's not a slouch at all. I mean, that's pretty good. Especially for playing I think it was DMZ all day, wasn't it? For that time frame, that not bad, Not bad for playing a dead game on a weekday or on a weekend. That's pretty solid, dude. So yeah, good job. Yeah, all DMZ. Yeah. So on a Saturday during prime hours that people are outside and playing a dead game, holding 15, 20 people. That's solid, dude. That's solid. All right, so last but not least, the Steam machine. I'm seeing a lot of hate, and I'm seeing a lot of reviews. I'm seeing a lot of benchmarks. These are already out in the wild. So a lot of these bigger places, these bigger, what would we call them? What would we call them? We call them journalists. A lot of these bigger gaming websites have them, and they're doing benchmarks. The ones that really truly matter, I don't think they've got their stuff out yet. But there's a lot of people, there's a lot of noise out there right now. So I wanted to talk about this and see what you guys thought. I'm sure you guys have all developed an opinion at this point. It's probably a negative one, but I'm here to kind of like give you, again, the opposite side of things. I always play devil's advocate just to give you guys a different perspective on things. So we're going to do the exact same thing today. Peak says, if I had more than 35 megabytes upload, a PC would make sense, but I honestly don't think it would be enjoyable. My buddy mentioned a VPN. I was under the impression that was just for playing different servers. I didn't think it would improve speeds, but I was in there when that happened. I don't know what that person's talking about. VPNs don't increase your internet speed or download speeds. A VPN just spoofs where you are. So unless his internet service is throttling him because of where he's located, and the VPN spoofs it so it looks like it's in a different area, I mean, maybe that's a stretch, but VPNs do not increase your speed limit. Again, it just spoofs your location. So I was kind of confused by that as well, but I don't go into people's streams to start arguments and shit like that. I just go, yeah, okay, whatever. That's your thing. But like your upload speed, 35 megabytes is fine, dude. I streamed on that forever to multiple platforms. 35 is fine, man. Your download speed makes a difference, but only downloading games. You can stream, dude. It doesn't take much to stream. 8 megabytes. Give yourself about 10. So what you want to do is your maximum up is 35, right? So you want to cut that in half, and you want to keep it right around that number. But if you're only streaming to Twitch and you're not using the enhanced broadcasting, you're sending 8 megabytes up. That's it. Which I think on console it limits you to the 6, which is kind of stupid, but that's fine. It is what it is. But you're fine, brother. I still watch DMZ streams. My issue is no fiber here, old ass copper wire. But I still think you'd be fine. Your latency shouldn't be too high that it creates any problems for you. If that's what's holding you back from PC gaming, brother, I'm telling you, don't let it. Because again, you don't need much more than that. And you'll never touch 35 unless you're multi-streaming to every platform there is. I don't think you'll ever hit 35 ever. My issue is no fiber here, old ass copper wire. You're fine, dude. I streamed on copper for years. I've only had fiber for a year and a half now, 2 years maybe. I mean, it's amazing. It's great. Fiber is amazing, but again, like it's not necessary to stream or to play games for that matter. Copper can do multi-symmetrical gig speeds now. Can it really? I did not know that. That's interesting. How are you doing today? I'm doing great, Wolfbite. How are you? We were just talking about you. Good job overtaking your non-husband stream on Saturday. Good job. Freeze on Copper. Yes, he is. Charter, I do believe, right? Spectrum. Charter Spectrum. They all have different names now. Comcast, Xfinity. Cox is still Cox. I think they changed it. No, aren't they known as Big Cox? Big Cox Cable. Comcast offers a 2 gig symmetrical on coax. That's incredible. I did not know that. I didn't know that was even capable. I didn't know that coax was capable of doing that. So that's amazing. We have up to 5 gig on fiber here. 5 gig is just, I mean, that's insane. No one's going to use that. That's meant for businesses and server centers. And yeah, that's incredible. I know a couple of people that do residential 2 gig, but they never, I mean, their equipment, number one, doesn't even allow them to do that. So it's a little bit of an overshoot. I just do the 1 gig symmetrical at 1 and up. It's $75 a month. I mean, it's cheaper than Comcast was like 120. This was years ago too. Charter Spectrum was like 110, 105, 110, something like that. Faster speeds, more reliable service for $75. And I'm on Frontier Fiber. The only downside is it doesn't support IPv6. Not yet. But it's not really an issue just yet. Yeah, IPv6 isn't an issue yet. It is nice to have, but it's not, again, an issue. It will down the road. So, did I miss a Steam Machine talk? No, I started and then we went back to, we'll get back to it in a second. I'm sorry. I'm going to entertain this conversation, then we're going to go back to the Steam Machine. I got the Cox. Yeah, you do. They call mine 1 gig and it gets close to what download. The upload is very slow. Yes, because that's how they get you. They say it's 1 gig internet because 1 gig download. So for most people, upload speed means nothing. Not many people upload things. They don't stream. I mean, during COVID, that was kind of an issue because a lot of people were trying to do Zoom meetings and things like that. But a lot of people are back to work now. They're not working from home as much. But even then, it doesn't take a lot of upload speed to do those types of things. Unless you're trying to do Zoom meetings at 4K, then we have problems. But that's standard. And then you don't even get 1 gig. I mean, I always ran tests and I was lucky if I got like 800 megabyte download. So I think they consider it. And then if you look at the fine print, their headline says 1 gig internet. But then when you look at it, it says, during off peak hours and up to this speed. So you never really get that. Now with symmetrical, I can run a speed test right now, even though I'm streaming, uploading, and I think other people in the house are downloading shit right now. I probably will still touch 900 plus download and upload speed, which I am not going to argue with at all. So, not yet. Yep, Spectrum gig 40. Goal is 10 gig down and up on coax. That's insane. Those are insane speeds. I mean, a router. I mean, you have to build a router. I mean, I don't think there's any. There's enterprise routers, but there's no consumer routers that go above 1 gig right now, right? There might be like a top of the line consumer grade one that you can get that does 2 gig. But I mean, even if you lock down your local network at home, what is actually doing 2 gig? It's incredible speeds, though. Absolutely incredible. I'll build you a better PC for the cost of that box. DOCSIS 4.0 theoretically allows it. Just got mine down to $55 a month. I get one mil up and down speed hacking these fuckers. That's right, brother. The small talk I had with Beat is Discord had some gears turn and some gears rust. Yes. Well, we'll get back to that. Hold on. I just paid to have fiber ran in my old spot, and it was awesome for the 6 months I got to use it. Yeah, I know it's hard to go back to coax after having that, but at least you have it. I mean, at one point, I think where you were living years ago when we first started hanging out and stuff, you were like way out in the boondocks, and I mean, I think you were on basically DSL. You had one of the worst internet speeds ever, and you were still a fucking monster in PUBG. Same as best title. Who is that box for? Honestly, I will get to that. The fanboys who just like to collect systems, no longer an issue with a lot of people online at the same time with coax. Network operates differently now. Yes, they're definitely consumer. The problem is that coax, when you run it to like an apartment complex, and then they try to split it from there because a lot of these complexes are older, so that they're running older cables, and it's an older way of doing things. They're not going to upgrade their shit, right? So like places like Bubba, I'm assuming from what he's told me, it sounds like he lives in kind of an older apartment complex, and it's split. I mean, it's split 30 times over, and he just gets the bare minimum. So you're only as good as your weakest link. So in certain situations like that, then it kind of sucks. but I think he's better off now. So something's obviously changed. There are definitely consumer router with 10 gig. My bro just bought one. We did upgrade that shit, lol. There you go. I do. Even I'm even further out in the sticks now, but you have better internet, which is weird, dude. That's crazy. It's built in 1994, so okay. Still a little newer. Still, I mean, that's not bad. That's not too bad. We had internet then. My internet isn't horrible. Okay, good. Okay. So, all right, let's get back to the Steam machine. Let's switch gears here. Now, every one of you, I assume at this point, has read a story, have seen things. You've probably been in a lot of, everyone has an opinion on everything nowadays. That's just the way of the internet. That's the way things go. I'm sifting through a lot of this. I'm more focused on, I know how people feel, and I get the gist of things. I'm more interested in benchmarks. I'm more interested in real world applications for this thing. I think it's cool. And I think a lot of people are on the same page. Right now, the price is the problem. And I get that. And it sucks because this is the second time that Valve has tried to push out a Steam machine. It was right around 11 years ago. They did the first run. They tried to do this. It didn't quite catch because at the time, the PC market wasn't anywhere near it is now. Right now, we're PC market is damn near 50% with consoles, right? So they're gaining momentum. So I think this was still a great time for them to do this. But when they set out on this venture, I don't think they knew that the Rampocalypse was ahead of us. So unfortunately, the prices are going to take a hit because of this. Okay. I think originally I've seen a lot of speculation out there, and then speculation to a lot of people turns into fact, and that's not fact. I think that they originally were aiming for an $800 to $1,000 price point. $700 minimum, but I don't think they were going for any less than that. So yes, obviously the Rampocalypse with the SSDs and then the RAM itself are the reason why this thing is where the price is right now. Who is this for? Who do you guys think? Who is this for? Right? Because we have two sets of people right now. We have the console people that are laughing at it because they're like, I would just buy a gaming PC at this point. We have the PC people laughing at it going, I'll just build a PC for that. Right? So who is the Steam machine for? Who is it designed for? Who do you think is going to be buying this thing? The people that want to be the Valve fanboys that want to be part of the conversation, and they want to have this hardware. They're number one, okay? But number two, I think this is for people, again, that want to go from console to PC, but they're not comfortable with everything that comes with a PC. The stigma that it's harder and it's tougher and there's a lot of maintenance and you got to do this, you got to do that. I can't just fire it up and play a game. That's who this is for. So when I see a lot of these console guys that are like, I'll just build for that, will you? Like, because Penguin's already told us he's not interested. He's the guy. Penguin is the market. He is the guy they're building this thing for. People that are on the fence, they want to get into PC gaming, but they don't want to build it. And they don't want to spend an arm and a leg buying a pre-built. And they want something small that they can just attach to their piece, to their TV, or even just set on their desk that takes up the same footprint as like a console. And then there's a third market, and those are for people that want to play with it. Like me, I would buy this thing. I'd wipe Linux off of it. I wipe Steam OS off of it, and I put like Bad Sarah on there, and I would make this my dedicated emulator. It would be my dedicated emulation machine. And I think for me, that's what I would use it for. I think it's cool as shit. And I see a lot of these publications, a lot of these journalists out here are saying the same thing. It's great, but the price is just wrong. And I agree, but they don't have any control over it. I see other people talking about they should subsidize the machine like the console makers do. Sell it for a loss, and then just, and hope that they buy a lot of Steam games to make up for the difference. I don't think that's the answer because, again, you're not locked into Steam. You can do anything you want with this thing. It's just a pre-built PC. And they don't want to take a loss. And I think that's how Xbox and Microsoft is feeling. So the next couple of weeks are going to be interesting because you better believe that PlayStation and Microsoft are watching this like a hawk to see exactly what's going to happen here, because they have to follow this next year or the year after. And they really need to figure out where their price point is going to be and where the hardware needs to be. Because at the end of the day, most console people, they want a $2,000 machine for $500. And they won't settle for less. We're seeing that. So it's hard. What do we do here? What do we do? I think it's going to sell. I know it's going to sell. And I like the new way that they're doing things. There's a term for it. Some type of reservation, but you have to confirm it. So this is going to cut down on scalpers. I see a lot of that. Scalpers are going to buy them. The only people buying them are going to be scalpers. No, I don't think so. I think they're going to sell out like they always do, because everything Steam sells out for early adapters. And I think the people that this is meant for that actually buy it are going to have a great experience with it. Because you got to remember that PC has thousands of more games, 1,000 games more than console. Now, there's a term in the PC industry we've been using for over 20 years, and you guys have probably all heard it. It's a meme, it's a joke of yesteryear, but it was a term. Can it play Crysis? Can it run Crysis? You guys remember that? I think the new one is, can it run Gray Zone? I think Gray Zone is going to be the new benchmark for PC hardware. Can it run Gray Zone? Can this? I don't know. I don't think it can. I don't think it can. So again, and I don't know if you guys know this. There's a lot of misinformation out there, but their goal, their target is 1080 at 30 minimum. So basically, GTA 6 on consoles. That's what their minimum is. As long as the Steam game can play without changing settings, just default settings, as long as it can do 1080, minimum 30 frames, it'll be Steam machine ready or whatever. And I think they already have, let's see, I think they started doing this already, where the game will have, on Steam, it'll have a little thing that says Steam machine ready or whatnot. Right now, okay, no, it still has Steam Deck compatibility, but they haven't added that in there yet. But that's what they're talking about. So before you buy the game, will it run on my Steam machine? Again, guys, this isn't supposed to compete with gaming PCs. It's not supposed to compete with consoles. So yeah, can a PlayStation 5, and another thing is, why is it only being compared to PlayStation 5 and not Xbox Series X? I don't get that. Very strange. But they're not trying to compete with anybody. They're trying to like fill a gap and help people transition to PC gaming. What hardware does it have in it? I don't have it. I don't have the specifics. I think someone, Penguin probably put it up in Discord. It's newer tech, but lower power, which is also a good thing, because another positive, another pro to this thing is that it's very quiet and it doesn't put off a lot of heat, but it's still running Cyberpunk. So I don't know. I think it's great. I think it's, if I had the money to do it right now, which I don't, I would buy this thing 100% without the controller. I don't need the controller. Controller looks cool and everything, and I might buy one down the road just to have. But I would just buy the 512 and I would put my own fucking NVMe in it. And I would play with it. I think it's cool as hell. But like, I don't think there's anybody here that would be that's interested in buying this. But like Penguin and I were talking, and we had a little back and forth in Discord there. This is going to kind of like tell you, this is kind of showing you what the price of the next consoles are going to be, guys. The days of consoles being $500, under $500, under $700, $800, that's over, man. These consoles, these next ones, they're going to be $1,000+. And if you can't afford it, your older console will still be supported to a certain degree, or you have cloud gaming. So no gamers will be left behind. I think it's cool. What are your guys' take on this? Everyone when we were talking about internet, everyone was chatty, but now no one's really talking. Did I lose you guys? Is anybody interested in this? I thought this would be a bigger conversation, just because we've been talking about it so much and we've been watching it. What hardware does it have in it? It has the semi-custom AMD Zen 4, semi-custom AMD. Yeah, I mean, with those numbers, it's hard to really tell. Like, how does it compare? There's a lot of speculation out there. People are. Someone said it was on par with a PS4. It's not. It's this would be somewhere between like a Series S and a Series X, I do believe. Zero interest, but it looks cool. I mean, but again, we're not the market. We're not the market for this game. So for all the PC guys out there that are laughing at it, it's not for you. This is for certain people. And again, for those people that are on console that want to make the jump. They want to be part of the PC conversation. They want to play all these games they see their friends playing, but they don't want to build a PC. They don't want a gaming PC that they have to maintain. They just want to plug it in, fire it up, and play the game. And that's what it is. That's exactly what this thing is. And that's what the Project Helix is going to be as well. But the Project Helix is going to be on a much higher scale with much higher equipment. So, I mean, if the prices hold firm, I mean, if you look at this now and you look at what's coming down the road, the Project Helix is probably going to be $1,500 starting price. There's no way they can do it any less than that unless they want to lose a shit ton of money. And then 100%, it won't have any access to Steam. So, and then again, misinformation on a lot of places I see a lot of people saying the same thing. Just wait for Project Helix because then you can run Steam games on top of your Xbox games. That's not the case. It's not going to do that. It's not going to have that. Just get that right out of your mind. Project Helix will have no access to Steam. None. Especially now that Asha's there. Maybe beforehand when Phil was running things, maybe. But now that Asha's in there and she's 100% sticking with consoles and she's 100% doing exclusives and blah, 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 the Project Helix will have no access to anything other than the Microsoft ecosphere. That's it. For its price point, I definitely would buy a PC before I buy that Steam machine. Now, the likelihood the Helix with the equal price, if not more, for one, it's going to be stronger than the X to even consider. If it is, then I have a few points to address for me personally. Right. It's going to be, I mean, it has to be, right? We have to progress, right? So the next console has to be more powerful than the previous. And by the time it comes out, it's going to be, the Series X is going to be 7 years old. So you can't have anything less, and you can't sell a console that's the same, right? You can't give somebody the same thing with slight nuance differences and charge them 3 times as much for it, right? So this thing's got to be a monster. It's got to be a powerhouse for people to even consider buying it. And you're not going to get that price point for that hardware unless they're willing to take a huge loss right off the bat. Even if the Rampocalypse comes to an end and prices get back down to normal, the price is still going to be pretty fucking high. But that's why they're pushing cloud gaming. Because for the people, again, that can't afford it or don't want to spend that kind of money, they will have options to continue playing games without having to shell over that kind of money. Other than a couple strange things happening, I will not likely be buying a console or similar again. I won't either. I down the road when these things are, they're being sold secondhand, I'll probably end up picking one up just to screw around with. But I'm not buying it to play games. I'm a Microsoft loyalist, so I'm not concerned for the box, but it does raise questions. What questions? I would love to hear your questions. Again, you're the number one guy I'm trying to convert. You're the number one guy that I'm trying to convince, because I think there's a lot of people like you, Penguin, and I'm glad you're part of this community, because I have an opportunity to talk to you directly. And then I know that in your circle of friends, in your circle of gamer gamer friends and whatnot, this information will get back to them via you. So I feel like I'm just trying to help the conversation out a little bit. Not trying to shame anybody again. And I try to do my best not to shame anybody. My buddy that was the most anti-PC person I know is now about to get a $7,000 pre-built Starforge system, Voyager 4 Ultimate. Any reason why? Did he say why? That's a lot of money. I'm assuming I'm assuming a year ago that would have been half the price. So that's probably, that sounds like a 5090 right off the bat. There's $4,000, and then the other 3 are in, that's a lot of money. That's crazy. That's got to contain a 5090, 100% though, for that kind of money. So that boy's future-proof for a while. he'll be fine. At least he says it's that much. I don't know. Starforge is a pre-built manufacturer. I think Hollywood Bob is a partner with them. I think I see that logo there quite a bit. Other than that, I don't really know much about them. If it's $1,200 to $1,300 or less, I'm not going to question the sale and we'll buy it. If it's more or less, we'll consider that their personal loan options. Got it. Okay. But what are your questions? Just the price? You said you had questions. Because if it's a question I haven't already thought about, I'd like to add it to my list of questions so I can answer that for you down the road, or at least do some research to try to figure some things out. Or maybe, maybe that's a question I need to have and I haven't even thought about it. So you're saying that when the Project Helix comes out, if the price is between $1,200 and $1,300, you're just going to buy it. No questions asked. Okay. I think a lot of people are like you, especially now seeing the Steam Machine. They're looking at it going, that's nuts. But if it was Project Helix, but I also, on the same hand, I think that a lot of people that are saying that or thinking that also are under the impression that Steam's going to be available in the Project Helix, and that's part of the selling point to them. And once they find out that it's not, they're going to be like, nope, I'm good. I'll give you $800. That's my final offer. Because that's really the question. How much is it worth to you to have access to games you would never have access to? Because you're limited to a console. How much would you be willing to pay to have access to thousands more games? That's kind of the question. But I'm glad Steam is doing this. I don't think it's as negative as a lot of people are making out to be. I think it's just sticker shock is really the thing. If this thing would have debuted for $800, I think it'd be a completely different conversation. But because of the price, I think that's really where this thing is kind of falling short, and everyone's kind of right now. But wait until they get out there. Wait until people, have them. Wait and see what people are saying about it. It does, yeah. The 59, yeah, probably the 5090D, which is the bigger dog. Specs of the Voyager 5090, Ryzen 9 9950 X3D. That's the processor that Smokey and I are looking at. This Micro Center deal is like, what, $1,000, dude? And it gets us a new motherboard, 32 gigs of DDR5, and the 9950 X3D, I think, is the one it comes with. Oh, only a 2 terabyte for $7,000? Bro, you figure that no, I don't know, man. They're making a lot of money off that then. If you add all that shit up, there's no way it's even close to 6. They're making some money off that. I mean, I would say a 4 terabyte or two twos for $7,000, and they're only going to give you a 2 terabyte hard drive. That seems a little, I don't know. It's $6,000 on the web. That sounds a little more, yeah. That sounds closer. I was gonna say they're making like $1,000 fucking profit off you. Now we know. Because of parts, they're going to be unable to make a lot of Helix. So despite its price, it's high. But as a Microsoft user, what about FOMO? Well, FOMO is going to be. FOMO is that's just life. Fear of missing out. It's a big thing right now. I think it's always really been a thing. But there's a lot of attention has been brought to it lately. I think because of social media and because everybody's an influencer now. I mean, 10 years ago, we had a select few of people who are considered influencers. Now, anybody that has a phone is an influencer. So we're just, I don't know, the market's really saturated with these types of people, but the fear of missing out is a big thing. And that's companies rely on this shit. That's why they pay people to be influencers. That's why they pay people to do these things, because they want to create that FOMO. So people will just start throwing their money at anything that they can. Off to work, gents. Have a great day. Lil Hawk, thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you. Much love, brother. Now go get them bad boys. Bad boys, bad boys. I don't want to buy it for $1,600, but if only 100 are billed, then that drives my interest, because I will buy something only 99 others will have, and the higher the price tag, less likely more people will buy. No, I mean, the next console, there's no way they're going to limit a run, especially to 100. I mean, I could see a limited run of like 10,000. But I don't think it'll be anything like that. I mean, 100 is a very, very low number, and the manufacturer gets absolutely nothing out of it. Well, I mean, it's not even worth their time to sell 100 of them, unless they're making insane amount of money off of it. I mean, if they're making $1,000 off of each one, right, which is not going to happen, right? If they're going to make $1,000 profit after each one on each one, and they only make 100 of them, is that even worth their time? No. So it may have a limited run, a much smaller run, but it's not. It'll be in the tens of thousands. It's got to make sense from a business perspective. It has to. Otherwise, they won't do it. And Microsoft right now, you got to remember, Microsoft is having a hard time with the Xbox part of things, because they're losing them money, right? They're festering right now. It's the hand is turning gangrene. What do we do, guys? So there's no way that they the next thing, it has to be a big money maker. That's why we're seeing all these layoffs. That's why we're seeing the higher ups, the CEOs and shit like that, stepping down. I mean, it's a complete restructure, but they got to make money. If they're not making money, Microsoft is like, dude, we've been doing this for 25 years. You've had plenty of time to show us what you can do. It's time to just call it, guys. We're going to continue making software because that's what we've always been doing. That's what this company fucking is software. Well, now it's going to be AI like everything else, but they don't want to keep making consoles at a loss and losing market share. And, I think that they're going to keep pushing the console back. I think there's still some life left in the Series X and the PlayStation 5. They could probably run this out 10 years before they bring out the next system. Especially in the economy we have right now, people are already having a hard enough time buying groceries and gas, and it's a tough one. Having money, having spare income to buy these things is becoming more and more rare. So trying to ask somebody in this economy, and at this point, trying to ask them to spend $1,500 on the next generation console is a little much. For us that are serious about gaming, we'll buy it, right? Penguin will buy it. But there's a lot of people out there that are still on PS4s and Xbox Ones, and they're sad they're getting left behind because they don't have the ability to come up with $500. So we'll see how things go, but I don't know. If the economy turns around, things change, I don't see it being a problem. How much is any new system going to be held back due to backward compatibility? We are just getting games that don't have Xbox One ability. I think the people that rely on backwards compatibility is a much smaller number than we think. I think it's a great selling point. I think it was a great selling point, but I don't think it's as much as you think anymore. 360s are now considered retro consoles. I'm seeing 360s being sold everywhere. You walk into a mom and pop's game shop, 360s all over the counter. They're taking them in as cheap as they can, making sure they work, and then they're throwing them right out there for $100 with a controller. So do you need backwards compatibility, or people willing to buy the older consoles and just play them like they were supposed to? So I don't know. I don't think backwards compatibility, and that's why I'm 100% sure the next console is not going to have a disk drive. It's not. They're probably going to sell like an add-on of some sort, but we've already heard that there is some type of program where you can turn your game discs into a digital copy. because they're trying to get away from this. They want to keep the backwards compatibility a thing, but they don't want to have the headache. They don't want to have the headache of providing you a way to do it, because that's more money, and you have to pay for that. So that's why my question was, I think it was last week, would you rather have an extra terabyte of space or a disk drive to play backwards compatibility games? Because I'm also pretty sure that the next console is going to be all digital. You're not going to be buying games for the Project Helix. You're going to be playing Windows PC games. The same games we're playing on PC via the Xbox app is what Helix players are going to be playing on theirs, which also cuts down on dev time. They don't have to scale the game down and make it optimize it. That's what I'm looking for. Optimize it for console. They can just make one game, and then the Helix automatically does the scaling, sets all the settings, does everything for you. If it is a reasonable price, that's great and wonderful. But what are the chances if I and everyone's mother can afford it, make one affordable? I might have to wait 3 years to get one, make the price just high enough I and some people can get it day one and build that bridge for those to come. What do you mean? I'm if it's reasonable price. Basically what I was saying about the pricing itself. Hey, Cascade, what's going on, buddy? How you doing, man? The 100 was an example. They already stated it will be very limited, less than what they had of Series X, and that had a rough launch because they didn't have enough. I got 2 on launch day. The Series X was an amazing console. It just was so crazy. I think out of all Xbox consoles, the OG Xbox was amazing. It brought so much, and it forced PlayStation to stop being lazy and to really put some work towards the next console. But I think my favorite console, the 360, and then the Series X. Xbox One was really subpar. I think the Xbox One was probably my least favorite Xbox console. It'd probably go Xbox One, OG Xbox, Series X, and then the 360. But anyhow, I mean, very limited, sure, but we still don't even know when they're going to launch. I mean, all the rumors were 2027, so next year, next holiday. But now I'm seeing reports that it may not even come out until 2028. So you got another year and a half to see where the market goes. And I mean, if the Rampocalypse is still a thing, yeah, very limited run. Sure. It takes me and my family months to get a Series X after its release. Someone of us took a whole year to get one. Just because of money or because of availability? You say that the Xbox Voice that the CEO sent out, backwards compatibility was 3 or 4th on most demanding features. I mean, sure, but like, I need to see numbers. Like, did they only give you 4 options? I don't. But I think that's again, that's more people that are like, okay, so what do we have on previous generations? Well, I want to have great games, and I want to have great graphics, and I want to have backwards compatibility. Like, is it something they really want, or is it just something that they're spouting because they've had it before and they don't want it to disappear? Like, is it just kind of I'd have to look at to understand that, but I really think that the backwards compatibility. I don't know anybody that plays besides you, Penguin. I don't really know anybody that plays on their console to play backwards compatibility games. I mean, like right now we're seeing an influx of people that are just burned out on Call of Duty. So they're going back to play older 360 versions that they can play on their Series X. So I see that, some backwards compatibility is coming back, but that's right now. We don't know what's going to happen. Call of Duty can release a banger this year and completely change everyone's mind. And then no one gives a shit about old Call of Duties anymore. People are just kind of getting burned out. I downloaded Blackout our Black Ops 1 yesterday because it looks like they're saying that it's coming to the PlayStation 4. They're gonna re-release it or something like that. Black Ops 1 and 2. And they're lowering the price of the game. And yeah, so like I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna download it and try playing it again. But I didn't buy my Xbox. I didn't buy the Series X for backwards compatibility. And very rarely do I use any backwards compatibility. And I wouldn't buy a console. That wouldn't be one of my selling points is backwards compatibility. I just don't really care. But again, everyone's different. So I mean, yeah. There could be more. If they drop backwards compat and force devs to move to new will be great. I went to player voice 2, 3 request 1. 2 request number 1 Xbox exclusives, make multiplayer free, and backwards compatibility. Got it. Okay, so that's what that's what it means to you. I again, they're hemorrhaging money. They're losing money. I don't think multiplayer is already kind of free for certain games. I think, isn't it the rule if it's a free to play game, multiplayer is free, right? If it's a paid for game, you have to have a certain level of Game Pass or whatever, it used to be just called Xbox Live, in order to play those games. I don't know if they'll ever change that. They got to make money on you because they're not making money on the console, right? And they're only making money on the software and then Game Pass. But maybe, I don't know. We'll see what she's willing to do. We'll see what she's willing to do for you guys. Xbox exclusives. I don't care about exclusives, as long as they don't affect me on the PC side of things. Which right now, because Xbox kind of screwed us, the PC guys here. Because as soon as she came back in and goes, all right, exclusives, PlayStation says, okay, fuck you. We're going to continue doing exclusives. We're going to do more exclusives, and we're going to pull our exclusives from the PC side of things as well. So we're going, oh, come on, guys. What the fuck, man? That's not cool. I mean, we're just your big brother watching you guys fight it out in the yard. Don't take it out on us. We didn't do anything. The good news for me, at least, is I'm not really that interested in any of their games. So it doesn't really affect me too much. Now, if they release another Uncharted game, I might be a little sad about it. But we don't even know if that's going to happen. So, whatever. Have a great day. Got to get moving. Good for you, Bubba. You have a great day, man. Thank you for being here. I'm going to get moving here soon as well. Top 3 request. Okay, 360 being top is nostalgia winning. So here's the thing. We already know backwards compatibility is going to be a thing. What I'm saying, my point is that they're going to do backwards compatibility in a way that it doesn't affect everyone else that doesn't give a shit about it. Which is they're not going to include a disk drive because there's really no reason to have a disk drive anymore. I haven't had a disk drive in any of my PCs in 10 years. There's no reason for it. So that's why they're doing this program. And I don't know if it's out. I've heard whispers of it. I know that they're working on it to some aspect to somehow trade. You can somehow trade your tangible disc for a digital copy of the game. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't even know if they know how it's going to work, but it's a good idea. And it kind of shows you what their thought process is. We'll give you backwards compatibility, but we're not going to force that on everyone else by adding a disk drive. So either they're going to figure out a way to do it digitally, or you're going to have to, for the people that want the backwards compatibility via their discs, they're going to have to fork over $100 or whatever for a disk drive, which I think is fair. I think that's fair. You still have backwards compatibility, but if you want to use your own discs, you have to pay for it. I don't see a problem with that. Do you? Anybody here see a problem with that? For availability? Okay. Yeah, they were hard to get your hands on. They were very, very hard. But they were building them as fast as they could. But that goes for every system. If that goes for every system that comes out, there's always a shortage. Always. Historically, if you go back to, even I think Dreamcast, there's always a shortage of consoles. Shit, I think the 64 was a tough one to get. Us old guys just remember, though. Both for me, seemed like every time I had the spare money, they weren't available. And when they were available, I didn't have spare money. Gotcha. I was late to the party. I got mine in 2020 2021. I think I was the regular one for most of my PUBG days. Well, you weren't that late then, because I mean, it came out in 2020. So you were only a year late to the conversation. And if I remember, Peak, I'm pretty sure we were playing at that time. I mean, we've been friends for even before I started streaming. I'm pretty sure, forever, man, forever and ever. You didn't really have a problem because I mean the game was still, I remember, optimized for the 1X. And a lot of, I mean, you and that other guy that's not part of our community anymore. He was on a 1X forever and ever. But it didn't really affect you guys because you were playing pretty much the same thing we were, and it just, the Series X had a slight advantage. It did play and run better on the Series X, but it wasn't optimized for it just yet. So you were fine because that was, I mean, I think that was really, that and Red Dead Redemption were the only games you were really playing at the time, I think. Hard being a poor, yeah, I get it, man. I'm with you. All they care about is what is in your wallet and how much you're willing to fork over. I'll buy a console for GTA 6. I won't be able to wait for it to come to PC. Didn't you have a Series X? I don't do that's an expensive game. So I mean, haven't they announced the price is going to be $100 starting out? Isn't that a thing, or is that just a rumor still? I don't know. I don't really keep up with it. So you're going to have to buy. Well, I mean, I would highly recommend a secondhand Series X if you can find one that isn't beat to shit. But you're looking at what, $650 or $699, $700, just under $700 for a brand new Series X, and then another $100 for the game. So you're willing to spend 7 times more to play the game at 30 frames the first year. I'm not going to call you crazy. I'll let other people do that. But I mean, I hope you enjoy the game. I hope it's financially worth it to you to do that. The Xbox player voice is a part of the Microsoft website. You just go in and write anything you want in, and it gets upvoted or downvoted, talk to other people or staff, hundreds of forums and subforums. She announced it, and it is a way to see what people like. And you and I, prior to ours, and are speaking up about, and their staff sees that, talk to us in some of the forums. Right. And I get that, and I like that. But it's just like the suggestion box at any business or restaurant. Just because your suggestion goes in there doesn't mean it'll even be looked at or even entertained. I know what they're doing, and I know what she's doing. It's smart. What do the people want? But is it just a gimmick to make people think that she gives a fuck? Is this whole Xbox voice thing, you really think they're listening to that? I think they are to a certain extent. But is the whole thing just to kind of get people to go, you know what? This chick's awesome. She's listening to us. She's going to give us what we want down the road. I think it's a little bit of both. I think they want to know what the people want, but a lot of it is more fluff as well. But I'm glad that you're in there. I'm glad you're involved in the conversation, because you can't complain unless you're involved in the conversation, right? Just like voting. If you don't vote, you can't complain about who we get in office, right? The same thing. So I'm glad, Penguin, I'm glad you're being serious about it, and you're taking it serious, and you're getting your voice out there, and you're being heard. It's fantastic. And I respect you for that. I got this Series X and fiber right before DMCs. Okay, so yeah, I mean, 2022. So 2 years. But still, I mean, you weren't really missing out. We didn't really, you didn't really see a huge difference in PUBG until Destin released, and then we got that Series X update. And from what I hear, it runs fantastic now that they finally dropped the older consoles. I haven't played it myself, so I don't know. But I do watch you play it. Back to the consoles, because of past experiences that my family and I ordered and had to wait months to a year to get what we paid for, I didn't want to miss the opportunity to repeat that experience again. I want a decent price of what it's worth, but high enough to discourage scalping and not let it be in reach of everyone. I don't want to drop $1,500 and wait 5 months. I got you. I'm just confused. And you paid for it, but you had paid for it up front, but you had to wait for it for months to be built. I don't remember any of that. I mean, I got 2 consoles day one. Because as soon as pre-orders went up, I went everywhere and I pre-ordered everywhere. And all I wanted was one. I was lucky enough to get 2 out of 12 different places I reserved them or tried to. I can wait on GTA 6, not worth it. No, yeah, same here. I mean, I don't even like Grand Theft Auto enough to, you know, to be that hyped for. I just don't even care. Will I pick it up down the road? Sure. I'll pick it up. I'll see what, I'll see what it can do. I'll see what my PC can do to that thing in a year's time, you know, whatever, or whenever they decide to bring it out, but I'm not worried about it. It's only money. I'll just make some more. I'd wait a week or two to see how it performs first. There you go. I would look at it like this, brother. For the money that you're putting into a console and then the game itself, I mean, that's more RAM. That's another video card if you're going to stick to the 70s down the road. That's at half the cost of a 5080. A new SSD, CPU upgrade. That's the way I look at it. That's just the way I look at it. Like, yeah, it's one game, and maybe I'll put some time into it, but I'm looking at it in the grand scheme of things. Like, I'd rather just pump more money into my PC. But again, I'm not here to shame you. I'm just my point of view. That's all. At the end of the day, this is a business. Absolutely. And that's why I'm saying that Microsoft is not going to release. They're not going to allow Xbox to lose money anymore. If they lose any more money, Asha's out, consoles go bye-bye, and it's just strictly software here on out. I hear you 100%. Completely understand the save face looking good, because at the end of the day, I know what I'm doing and I have no idea what she's doing in the office. Right. But you're part of it. So you can't, you can complain. That's what I can't complain because I'm not really part of that conversation, because I don't really care. I'm here for you guys, but I'm not really interested in the next console. I'm happy here. Any of the exclusives that are going to be on console are going to be, for me, are going to be on Xbox, which means that they're going to be on Windows, which means I have access to them still. So they can go back to the console. Well, Asha can start this console war shit again. That's fine. I don't care, because I'm not part of it anymore. Us PC guys, we don't really have to take sides or anything. We just don't care. Not worth it. For 30 FPS, I'll wait for it to be properly optimized. Hey, if you have VVR though, you might get 40 frames. Or VRR. Variable refresh rate. If you have that, which is kind of like G-Sync or what is it? What's the other one? I think my monitor has it. Whatever AMD's version of G-Sync is. Yeah, FreeSync. I think it's called FreeSync. Same thing. Yep, it was a backlog order from their website because stores sold out in days. Oh, I see. So you bought it from Microsoft and you had to wait. Yeah, I could see. Yeah, I understand that. I get it. There was a website that came out right around that time. It was a watchdog website that you could sign up for, and it would automatically, whenever inventory became available at any location, you could stay in, you could be in this thing, and it would let you know, like, who had new stock, where was the new stock at. I remember Facebook. Everyone remember Facebook back then? I remember, like, every day there was somebody somewhere taking a picture of, hey, at my local Walmart or whatever, and there was one or two behind a locked cage, and then you'd see a million people. What location? Where was this? I'm on my way. It was crazy, and like, man, I feel bad for these guys while I fire up my Series X, my extra one in the bathroom, because I had an extra one. You get played on a waiting list. Yeah, especially if they have your money. I'll stay on a waiting list, but you tell me when it's ready to ship. When it's ready to ship, you can have my money. But I'm not going to give you my money and wait for it to ship. Fuck you. I'll stay on the waiting list. If I find one brick and mortar before then I'll just cancel my reservation with you. That's crazy. I waited to get the 20th Halo Edition Series X and got it on launch. What was that, 2021? because I think Halo Infinite came out in the fall of 2021. Like I think like a year after, just about a year after the Series X came out. Let's see if it actually comes out in November. There's no, bro, there's no way at this point they're going to push it back again. They can't. Could you imagine? People would storm that office. It'd be like January 6th at Rockstar. It just, they can't. They have to commit, bro. They have to. I mean, they're already taking pre-orders for it, and I mean, they have to. I know how. The other coin is I shamelessly am an Xbox loyalist and have fond memories with family and growing up with the Xbox in the household. I mean, I don't blame. I would what you consider an Xbox fanboy as well. And you know that the great thing about Xbox is that it's owned by Microsoft, which is Windows, which is PC, which is, you know, it's an easy transition. It's an easier transition from Xbox to PC gaming than it is PlayStation to PC gaming. So eventually your fanboyism or you, that's probably a bad word nowadays. You're a loyalist. I'm sorry, not a fanboy. You're a loyalist. I like that term. Your Xbox loyalism is going to get you into PC gaming. I'm excited for you. Free sync. Yep. I don't care about the console war either. End of the day, we're all gamers and we want all deserving games to succeed. I want to play my Xbox, but play with PlayStation players like Bubba and play PC with games like you and Smoke and all the other shit. Yeah. And I've always been like that. I've never, when they first started introducing the crossplay between consoles, I mean, I didn't really have a problem with it. We saw a lot of problems when it came to PUBG. Certain games had more problems than others. When it came to merging consoles together, but I don't care how you know, the same thing with riding, man. I don't care how you ride as long as you ride. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not shaming people because they don't, you know, have a Harley. I'm not shaming people because they don't have a PC. I don't care. Do the way, do you, man. November 21st of 2021. Yeah, so what, a year, almost a little over a year after the Series X came out. Pre-orders start June 25th. All right, so 2 days from now. If they start pre-orders and they get everyone hyped and then they push it back again, they're only going to shoot themselves in the foot, because you already have a lot of people that are on the fence because, number one, it's not coming to PC, which is a huge mistake. Huge mistake. I know why they're doing it. They're greedy, but come on, they put a lot of money into this game, so they're going to do everything they can to squeeze every penny out of people. But they've already pushed it back a year and a half. They've already made people wait over 10 years. 13 total when this thing finally comes out, right? And then they finally said, this is the day they're going to do pre-orders. If they push this thing back again, you're going to lose a lot of people. They know people will buy it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I know they're hiding behind this. We always release games on PC a year after the fact. Sure. And that worked up until 2019. This is not the same market. This is not the same atmosphere that it was. You can't do that anymore. You have to release your game, if anything, on PC first. I think it's a blunder. I don't know. I'm sure it'll end up paying off for them, but I think initial numbers, they're gonna feel it. They're gonna be like, damn, we should have released on PC. We could have got more money day one. But you're right. They're gonna sell to as many people as they can. People like Smokey, they're gonna go out and buy a console to play it, and then when it comes out after that first year, when they finally release the PC version, everybody's gonna buy it again on PC. And then they'll probably have like an upgraded version down the road. They'll sell another version of it, like they did with, you know, GTA, what's the last 5? But we'll see. I really thought they were going to wait, and this was going to be a launch title for the Helix. But they made people wait long enough. They just need to do it. So I'm with them. Sitting back, low key, expecting GTA 6 to be worse at launch than Cyberpunk. I mean, that's a good one. That is a good one. That was hard for them. And I think that it'll be a better launch. I think that people are gonna feel it. They're gonna really feel it. Smokey, I think you're gonna feel it, brother. I think you're gonna get in there and you're gonna be gaming. You're gonna start getting headaches and you're gonna be like, man, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this frame rate is, but it's not jiving with my brain, dude. Console people, they don't care. They're gonna be fine with it. They're just gonna be happy playing GTA again with some killer graphics. They know people will buy it twice. You're talking about a Riot let GTA release it and it's trash and the players will burn that place down after how long they've been waiting. Yeah. If taking pre-orders, we should be good for November. Yes, exactly. This is just them cementing and letting you guys know we are serious. It's going to happen. And they also want to know, because I mean, here's another thought. Just spitballing here. This may or not be a thing, but opening pre-orders now tells them how many copies they need, right? For the tangible disc. But it also tells them maybe they should. I'm wondering if they already, I mean, they obviously do. I'm sure they have a PC version of this game because they built it on PC. I mean, most games nowadays are built on PC first and then they're ported to consoles. So you better believe there is a PC version of this game floating around somewhere in their offices, right? So if they don't get the pre-orders they're looking for, maybe, a month before they had this surprise announcement coming to PC as well, boom, and then the pre-orders go fucking wild. So that's also something that could take place, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. But pre-orders for this game is going to be very telling. And then has Call of Duty Modern Warfare 16 and a half or whatever the fuck it is, have they opened up pre-orders for that game yet? I'd like to see those numbers compared to the last 5 years of pre-orders for Call of Duty games. That'd be an interesting thing. They said console players spend a ton more in their online store, so that's a big reason. Yeah, because PC we have these things called mods. I get that. But I mean, I don't know. Here's another question for you guys. If it did release on PC, how many people do you think would convert to PC? Smokey's one that's openly saying he's going to get a console to play this game. How many people would be willing, if it was released on console and PC at the same time, how many people on console would be willing to buy a PC just to play the game much better than console's going to? That's another question we should be asking. How many people could we convert to a gaming PC with this game alone? Wife, how you doing? We're having a great day in here. We're having a very in-depth conversation about a handful of things. I lost most people at Steam Machine, but that's fine. We had to have this conversation. We have to. Because this is a pinnacle. This is a milestone in gaming right now with the Steam Machine. They're always the innovators. Steam's the innovators. They're the ones willing to take risks. And God bless them for it. Good job, Gabe. So the whole world is watching right now with this Steam Machine. So let's see what happens. You can pre-order, I believe, maybe 20%. If they do a surprise drop for PC, definitely buying a day one. I will too. I'll say that right here, right now. I'm not that interested in it. I'm not. But I will. And it's not even FOMO. Uncle Bubba's gone. He just learned that word. I was going to use it a couple times just so he'd be like, oh, I know that word. And it has nothing to do with FOMO. I will buy GTA 6 day one if it launches on PC the same day. I love Vice City. Vice City was my favorite GTA. My absolute favorite, hands down. So I love that we're going back to Vice City, but I just don't have to play it day one. I'll play it down the road. I just don't really care. We were stubborn and don't care. I know. I still love RPGs, but I have not, nor could I imagine playing one right now. I've tried to get excited about GTA, but I can't. I just want a BR or extraction shooter I can play with the homies. I'm with you, Peak. Peak, I so wish you had a PC, dude. This game that we're playing, Project Valor, on Monday nights, I think you would like it. I think you and Rick would have a blast, dude. But you have to have a PlayStation 5, a current gen, sorry, or a PC to play it. I would so love for you to be able to play this, dude. Doc Fields, what's going on? What was my old gamer tag? Originally it was D's Nuts 420. And then when they started doing this family nonsense in the mid 2000s, they made me fucking change it. So I changed it to 1-800-BEATDOwn, ONE800 Beatdown. And then a year later, I ran into somebody probably playing Call of Duty with my old fucking name, D's Nuts 420. I was so mad. I was so mad, dude. They forced me to change it and then let somebody else have it. I always say that it was probably a dev. There was probably somebody in Microsoft, an employee or somebody that wanted my name, that wanted my gamer tag. So they they fucked me over on it. But yeah, D's Nuts 420 was my original. And I'm original Xbox Live OG from 2004, I think is when when it came out. It was either 03 or 04, somewhere in that neighborhood. I've had a Game Pass subscription and I've had a Steam account longer than most of my kids have been alive. My accounts are older than my children. that goes to show you how old I am. Am I making people mad? I don't think so. I think it's just, some of these things are just kind of boring. But I need to have the conversation for my own sanity. Not because it's expensive and hard to build a PC. Yeah, you're probably right. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. We play so many games that share our console and PC and it doesn't do anything to convince us. We play so many games that share. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think that up until now, there hasn't been a lot of games where it is a dramatic difference, but it was a big enough dramatic difference for console players to even look at PC. PC's always been, master race, these assholes that, it's the same thing that we're playing over here and it doesn't look any different and blah, blah, blah. But I mean, this is a game that's releasing in 2026 towards the end of the Series X or this current gen's life cycle. And they're releasing it 30 frames. I think if you have VRR, it gets up to 40. There was another game like that. Plague's Tale Requiem was one of those games. But that was a slower paced game that actually you could kind of get around it. It didn't really make that big of a difference. GTA is pretty fast moving, especially when you're driving. I think that this is going to be, the game is going to show the cracks more so than any game before it. And I think we're going to get people that are like, maybe it's time for a PC. Maybe I should just swallow my pride and get a PC. But I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell, guys. Better buy a PC instead of a Steam machine. Yeah, again, the Steam machine is for somebody. It's for a niche person. It's not for people that already have gaming machines. It's not really for people that are on console that they're willing to buy a gaming PC, build a PC, whatever. These are for hobbyists, loyalists, and people that want to and are ready to make the step into PC gaming, but they want it to be a console. It's closer to a console really than it is a PC. This is just a foot in the door, an easy, no nonsense foot in the door for people that want to play Steam games. It's not for everyone. And I think that's the problem, is that everyone is looking at this as Steam wants to sell this to everybody. I don't think they even want to sell it to everybody. They're making this as a Trojan horse, just like these other companies are, to get Steam into more households. Can't blame them. Again, they tried this 10 years ago, didn't work, but they're willing to try it again. So again, Gabe, he's a billionaire for a reason. He knows what he's doing. So it's not for me, not for you, it's not for a lot of us here, which is fine. But the people that get it for what it is are going to really enjoy it. And then probably, down the road, they'll be like, I'm ready for something else. And that's when they jump into a big beefy PC build and really go all out. I think a really big factor conversation is price in friend groups. I agree. Price is the conversation right now. Again, if the Rampocalypse hadn't happened and these things dropped at the price that I originally thought they were going to be, $800 to $1,000, I think the conversation would be way different than it is. But it's the price for what it is. People are just not happy with it. There's also a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of bad information out there that's floating around. So people that don't really understand tech specs and things like that are getting bad information, which also is making things worse. But give it some time. Let's get some people out there that actually buy it, play games. Let's get some reviews of common folk and see what they think. I remember the handheld, the Steam machine, or what is it, Steam, the rig, the Ally rig, whatever, the handheld Steam thing. There was a lot of, kind of backlash to that that it was only playing games at 30 frames and the batteries were running out quickly and stuff like that. But it wasn't really made for everybody. It was made for certain people, and those certain people love it. I'll buy it day one if it's PC. Honestly, the only Rockstar game I like is Red Dead Redemption 2. Me and Laz are going to be Bolivian drug dealers once the RP comes out. I love it, dude. I love it. I'll be your first customer. Bring back picking up hookers and kill them and to get your money back. I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't be in this game. If anything, then you could. Yeah, you would have to. You're gonna kill them, and then you're gonna have to open their phone and Venmo the money back to yourself. It's not cash anymore. Even the hookers are using Venmo. Oh man. Could have swore we played PUBG together for some reason. Doc, what is your we probably did. I was a PUBG partner for a couple years, and I streamed when I first started streaming back in 2021. It's been 5 years. Yeah, 2021. For the first 2 years of my streaming career, I was all PUBG. So you probably ran into us. If not, you probably were part of my stream at one point. What was your gamer tag, brother? I need to review and verify my information, but I had seen the GTA 6 remove strippers and hookers, pros, whatever. Oh, same. I have my OG Xbox name as well. Feels good. You know what? We probably ran into each other at some point. PUBG report. We probably run into each other. We were primarily FPP. So and we were a much smaller, and we were on Xbox, so console obviously, but we were a much smaller community, and I think I was really the only PUBG partner that was actually FPP. Everybody else was either PC, or if they were on console, they were TPP at the time. So we had a lot of respect in that we were pushing the FPP and trying to get more people in there and things like that. So there's a good chance that you were either in my stream, we ran into each other, or something along those lines. If there was a really toxic PUBG report from me, I apologize. I'm very emotional when I play that game. That's why I don't play it anymore. But yeah, once I saw, where am I at? I missed. Once I saw RDR2 at more than 30 FPS, I built a PC. Yes. Let me in on that. I want to do RP, but nobody wants to do it. You gotta, I mean, we had a, one of my stats, I don't know if you guys remember stats. She was one of my mods for a long time. She was really into that. And when she got in, which was, there was a long waiting list. You had to go through all of them. It was like a job interview. It was crazy to get into those role-playing servers. When she got in, she ended up leaving, and now she streams that like all the time. She's an ambassador for them and stuff like that. So I've seen a lot of people go over to that, and and I think that's one of the number one Twitch watch streams is Grand Theft Auto RP. I know it's one of the big ones. So a lot of people are still doing that. We will welcome you into the family. Hold on just a second here. I got to check something. Okay. Ain't nobody playing a game on 30 FPS. I already feel awkward if it's at 90. Yeah. I mean, it's got to be 100 plus for me. There's sometimes I can play things a little less. Alan Wake 2, I was willing to sacrifice visuals for frames because it was just a beautiful game. But yeah, I mean, I gotta, especially if it's PvP, if anything PvP, I gotta have over 90. I gotta have 100. PC's bigger than Steam Machine, haha. It's greater than? Yeah, it is. Sup, dude? What's up, buddy? Let's fucking go. If I gotta off someone to show my loyalty, I will. No, they jump you in, brother. They jump you in over there. Do I have news for you? I play with the IMSG clan in FPP. I can assure you toxic is fine. Okay, there you go. I'm not sure. I was kind of out of the loop when clans started on console. I haven't really, I mean, I kind of left when DMZ was a thing. So 2022, 23, I was playing DMZ. I gave up my partnership to focus on DMZ, and then Call of Duty fucked us. And they're like, yeah, we don't care about this. And we're killing the game off. So for the last couple of years, I've just been everywhere but PUBG. Yeah, there's a Hunger FTS RP community. Huge. It's huge. She's in a very popular lobby. Want you to basically build a character with a backstory and all that stuff. Not easy to get into. Yeah, I mean, she was telling me that, I mean, she had to write a fucking novel, like a whole backstory. And yeah, I mean, well, thank God for Chat GPT, huh? At the end of the day, I'm trying to play video games. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to turn in some fucking college homework to play the game. I'm good. I had to pre-fire. I had to pre-fire an Apex Legends at 60 FPS to have a chance. Yeah. Oh, them Apex Legends boys, man. I mean, if you have anything less than 200 frames, you're just you're not competitive. You just ain't doing it, baby. So yeah, it always makes me laugh when these guys get the 4090s, the 5090s, and they slap them in their PC. They got these $5,000 fucking computers, and then they play all these games at the lowest settings that they can. And they're all like, I got 500 frames. I got 500 frames. I'm like, yeah, but it looks like shit, bro. Oh man. I tried. I got denied. Fake character wasn't good enough for them. Oh. Well, that's probably a good thing, Smokey. Probably a good thing, because now we have you available to play other games with us instead of just dedicating your life to Grand Theft Auto. That's hilarious. So again, back to what I was saying. I know that we don't really want to talk about it anymore, but I think the Steam machine is going to be fine. We're just going to need to pay attention to it over the next few months to see what, how things are. Again, Microsoft and PlayStation are 100% going to be watching how this thing does, because they need to know where they're going to fall when it's time to put their next console out. But I'm telling you guys, the next console, it's going to be the days of $500, $600 consoles is over. It's over. The next console is going to be between $1,000 and $1,500. Probably a couple different SKUs. But for those that don't want to buy into the next generation, The cloud gaming will be even better at that point. It's pretty fucking good now if you have solid internet. But I would like to, I still, the price is a little high for what I would do. I mean, I can build something way cheaper, but I think if I got my hands on one of those, Steam OS is gone. I'm putting my own operating system on it, and it's just going to be an emulator. That's it. And then I would put it right on hook it up right up to my TV. Take my Series X off the TV. I'd put that on there, and it would just be for emulation. And I think it would be fantastic. So again, it's not trying to compete with consoles. It's not trying to compete. It's kind of like Nintendo. It's kind of like the Switch. Nintendo and Switch, they don't compete with anybody. They're just there. They do their own thing, and people buy their shit. And there's a lot of loyalists over there. This isn't built for console gamers. This isn't built for PC gamers. This is built for the people that are in between. And I think it'll be okay. Well, my screen was 60 hertz. Took me a while to upgrade. Oh my God, yes. We had some people like that in our group when we were playing PUBG. When we all switched over to Series X, we were able to dial in some higher frames and things. And then when we were playing DMZ, whoo, it's so hard to go back to a 60 hertz screen. You just feel it. You could feel it. It's crazy. Gaming is officially not a cheap hobby anymore, but it can be. And that's what I'm saying, is it can be. Everyone has it in their head that they have to have a machine connected to a screen to game. But cloud gaming is getting better, and it's showing you that you don't have to. You can spend $20 a month, and you can hook up a controller to your TV, and you can game on the cheap. You don't have to have one of these big gaming rigs. Is it nice? Sure. Yeah. But you don't have to. So no, gaming is not going to leave anyone behind, because there are ways to game on the cheap. But yes, if you want to be part of the bigger conversation, you're going to have to shell out. You're going to have to shell out some money. But again, like any hobby out there, people are willing to put money into it, right? We live up here in Michigan. And hunting is a big fucking thing, even though hunting is really only a couple of months out of the year. I know people every year that spend thousands of dollars on new hunting gear, new guns, new blinds. You know, they go to these deer camps and they drop all kinds of money, deer tags. I mean, everything. And that's only a couple of months out of the year. Gaming is year round. And I think that if you're a serious gamer, you're willing to shell out the money to do it. Pay $1,200 for my PC. I'll buy a console around the same. No issues. Yeah. Most of us PC guys are in the same boat as you. When it was time, again, but I mean, I've always had both. I've always had a PC and a console. So I'm different than a lot of you guys, dating back to the 90s. But now that PC has 50% market share, almost 50%, right there on the edge, and there aren't really exclusives anymore, there's really no need to have both. You can just upgrade, graduate to a PC, and just be happy. That's it. I'm just going to take a shopping list to the data center after hours. There you go. I see. Use that brick key that you have to get in after hours. You could still build a PC. You might have to limit yourself to AM4 platform or DDR4, whatever the Intel equivalent is of that, because they've had a lot more sockets than AMD has. But you can build a very good machine. I built mine years ago. I've upgraded it several times since then, but I'm still rocking AM4, baby. 32 gigs of DDR4 at 3600. I have the best processor you can get for gaming on the AM4 platform, which is the 5800X3D. I mean, I'm running water on it. I mean, she stays nice and cool. I have a RTX 5070, a 2 terabyte, extremely fast NVMe. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with my PC. It's, you know, and there's no signs of me having to change anything anytime soon. Would I like to upgrade? Yeah, absolutely. That's just me though. I love to upgrade. PC gaming was built for me. You can't really upgrade anything on the console except for, you know, the hard drive space, and what, that's not fun. You just plug it in. I saw a flash drive made from a Raspberry Pi that is a drop-in plug and play that replaces the disk drive of any PlayStation 1 that emulate PS1 games and all the older platforms as well. Yeah. Raspberry Pis are cool, man. I have one of the originals from 2011. I used it to make, it was a moon thing. I can't remember what the name it was. It was like a Steam Link, and I used that. I would stream games from my computer via this Raspberry Pi on my TV. It was cool as shit. Loved it. Gonna drop a band on a monitor. Yeah, I mean, monitors is a whole nother situation. A 4K OLED, 32-inch. Yeah, you're going to drop some money on that. I would like to go OLED eventually, but for me, 1440 is where gaming is at. I'm extremely happy with 1440p. I don't see the necessity to go any higher than that, and I definitely wouldn't go back to 1080p. I ain't gonna do it. Can I help you? Hello? Okay. My dog is making all this noise. She needs to go out, and apparently nobody else is in the house. So I'm gonna go let my dog out real quick. I'll be right back to finish this conversation. Don't go anywhere. My bad. I got up to put my dog out and I realized I had to go too. So we each grabbed a spot on the lawn and we did our business. The daughter got home. She went to the gym, went with her friends. She already had an action-packed day, and now she's on her way to work. So there we go. She's outie. So I had a chance to say goodbye to the girl. Looks like the wife is back. All right, what do we got going on here now? I have a 1440p OLED monitor. It's nice. Oh, I'll bet. I'm jelly. I'm jelly. Someday. Curved, I don't want it. Never really got the curve thing. I played on them before. I never really understood it. Not that there's anything wrong with it. For me, I don't. Curved, I don't want. That's funny, Gare Bear. That's funny, man. That's hilarious. So let me ask you this, Gare Bear. Gare Bear's been around since the DMZ days, in and out, here and there. Are you looking forward to the new DMZ? Are you? I assume you are. I assume you are. Are you pre-ordering? Are you day one guy? Are you going to be there? Let me ask you all of this. Let me ask all of you this. If I start streaming DMZ again, will you guys come back? I think that there is a big section, a big community of people that have been part of our community that if I went back and played Call of Duty, they would all come back again. But I don't know for sure. I don't know. Maybe I'm just hyping myself up. I don't know. No thanks with a multi-monitor setup. Yeah, Free's got like 17 monitors hooked up, dude. I mean, he doesn't need nothing curved. The monitors curve around him. He lives in a bubble. You guys remember Grandma's Boy and JD was in that machine where he had all these monitors. He was laying back in it. I just don't like techno music. That's because you don't have robot ears. What is a good 1440p monitor I need when I've been playing 1440 on a 4K monitor? I would stick with what you have. I run an Acer Predator. I mean, it's nothing special. It's a good competitive monitor if you're not looking for HDR and you don't need 200 plus frames. I got this from Micro Center for like $170, and that was like 5 years ago. I'm probably due for another monitor upgrade, but again, every time I have any type of money that I want to put into anything, I go, man, I really want a new monitor, but the 5070, I'd rather go with that. So then I end up getting a new video card instead. So it's hard. Yeah, Free's got the exact same one as me, except his does 240. My max is at like 170 or something like that. Which I don't ever play games over 120 as it is, so I don't really. 120 is the sweet spot for me, especially since I stream, because the way my setup is, I can't really do over 120. Otherwise, it starts causing issues because the capture card can't do any higher than that. So, either way. I'll most likely pre-order it. We didn't leave low, and yes, pre-order. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about like Gare Bear, and some of these other homies that used to be here every day during the DMZ days. Gare Bear comes in from time to time and checks on me, just make sure I'm still alive, which is great. But yeah, we have the exact same monitor, except yours does the 240, mine's at 170. Doc Feels Ferret still playing PUBG. Oh, he made the connection. Doc Field says he remembers me and like we played together or something maybe. And I was like, well, probably, because we were in the FPP games and this and that. So there you go. So Doc Fields, are you friends with Mexican Ferret? Because that makes sense. Ferret wasn't in our group, but he played with us. He was kind of an outsider in the group, and we played with him from time to time. Moses. So if you ran with Ferret, then that's where we know you from. That's where you know me from. Yeah, my 4K monitor is 60 hertz. Does it do higher than that if you're giving it a lower resolution? My first monitor was a 4K Predator monitor. Did you dial it down? Did you dial and go back to 1440? I'm running MSI 27-inch curved 180 hertz, like 150 at microcenter. That's all you really need. At 1440, we get a lot of these guys, competitive guys, that will buy these crazy $600, $700, $1,000 monitors, and they stick them on their consoles, and they think they're getting themselves a competitive edge. And they're like, bro, you're not even pushing a fraction of what these monitors need to really look good. I would probably go with a 1440p OLED that does between 150 to 200 frame or FPS or hertz, and just keep it at that. You don't really need much more than that. I mean, unless you consider yourself a pro gamer that needs all these frames to be competitive. The average Joe doesn't need that. I'm an average Joe. I work mornings now, so I'd be in from 6 to 10. Oh my God, you're on that early. I used to start at 9. It's so hard. I get up early in the morning with the wife. I get her off to work around 7:30, and then the sun's up. It's already warm out. The outdoors is calling me. I got a million things I had to get done. So I start running around, starting projects, getting things going. And then I look, I'm like, I got to start stream. And I look again, I'm like, I got to start stream. And then before you know, it's 11 o'clock. I'm like, fuck, I got to get inside, start stream. I have to stream right now. It's hard, man. It only goes to 60. Okay, so it's limited to 60. I got you. Regardless of resolution, it's only 60. Okay. I scaled down a game to 1440. I'm thinking I'm just buying a 1440 monitor would be better because I don't play 4K. I would. I 100% I would. You're gonna benefit from a monitor that's meant for that resolution. They can do much better than 60. Like what I got here, you could probably pick up pretty cheap, $150. You don't have to spend a lot of money. Mine's 360, but it's on sale. Do you push 360 to it? Do you get 360 out of it? Again, I'm not trying to shame anybody. I'm just, average Joes. Us average Joes here, these companies they like to throw big numbers out there, that now they have monitors that do up to 500 hertz and people are like, ooh, but it's like, but do you have the capability of putting that to its, to its max? Is it really worth buying that? Because if you're buying a monitor that does 400, 500, and you're pushing 1080p 60 to it, I mean, it's kind of wasted money, I feel. You can spot the difference between 160 FPS anyways. You can't, yes, I agree. Most eyes can't see much over 120. That's why I stick to that. Now, there are some humans that do see a difference. A lot of it, I think, is placebo when people say they could feel the difference above that. Because I'll bet you anything, if you had two computers side by side and it was like the Pepsi challenge or whatever, and you're like, okay, so this one's locked in at 170 frames and this one goes up to 360, but you were still giving both monitors, you're lying and you were giving 170 to both of them, they wouldn't be able to tell. And if you gave one 360, 170, they probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference there either. They'd be like, oh yeah, getting the same. They'd be like, oh, the 360, it feels way better. And then you're like, spoiler alert, they're getting the same signal. Only on certain games will it even get close. I only got it because with the sale, it was $20 more than the 240. No, I don't blame you, and I'm not saying that it was a bad purchase. I'm just curious because I don't know many people that have these higher refresh rate monitors. Most are 150, 140 to 250, somewhere in that neighborhood. And then most of us only feed 100 to 120 FPS to it anyhow, so it doesn't really make a difference. Like last night, we were playing Project Valor, and Smokey and I, Free knew. He knew not to fuck with the settings. So I think he was right around like 70, 80, somewhere in that neighborhood. Smokey and I, we were able to bump it up with DLSS in things to get it to a little over 100, but it felt worse. It just felt worse, you know? But man, you feel 70. Oh, especially if you've been playing PC as long as I have. When you start playing these games and they're 70 frames, kind of get you nauseous. All I know is 1080 to 1440 is a huge difference, right? And then going from 2K to 4K is another big jump. But unless you have, 5080 and you're really pumping out, we could do 4K gaming, Smokey, with our cards, but it's not going to be an enjoyable experience. We're going to be using DLSS a lot. So that's why I think 1440 is probably where we need to be. We could stick closer to native with better results. I wish I could get enough frames to max out my monitor. Well, have you tried 5090? My doctor prescribed 5090 for me, but my insurance won't cover it. Oh, there's another great shirt idea. Don't steal it from me. It'll be a picture of a 5090. My doctor prescribed 5090 on the back. It'll say, but my insurance doesn't cover it. My copay is way too high. Can't do it, man. 4K gaming is another niche thing for certain people. It's not common. There are people, but it's niche. We have a lot of to get into that, you have to spend $3,000+ just to kind of get into that neighborhood. Which I'm not shaming it by any means, because I have played some 4K gaming, and it is amazing. It is absolutely amazing, but I'm good. Friggin' was about 110. You can feel it starting, yeah. On the native settings, that's not bad. Your card's not doing too bad, man. Not too shabby. Same, and we got to spend 1,000 on a monitor. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. 3,000 would be like probably your entry level into 4K gaming. That includes monitor. I'd only push 4K if I was running 32-inch or bigger monitors. Right. I don't really see the unless I'm going to play like really good story games, single player games, things like that. I don't really have a place for 4K gaming. Getting into competitive gaming, getting serious competitive gaming. I don't think there's anybody out there at a competitive level that plays 4K. As a matter of fact, again, I think a lot of these guys, we've talked about this, a lot of these guys get the best hardware they can, probably with the availability to play 4K, and then they dumb it down to 1080p, and they lower all the settings, they shut off everything, and they try to get those FPSs as high as they can. I see that as PC abuse. I personally see that as computer abuse. When you spend all this money on a computer that can do wonderful things, and you make it do what everything else can do, but way higher frames, I feel like you're abusing the hardware, man. That's just me, though. I have a 5070. I just want to use the frames that it produces. Yeah. And yeah, and I do too. I just 5070 is probably the best spot to be right now. I think the cars are still probably the cheapest of the Blackwells. They haven't, I wouldn't say the cheapest, but they haven't changed pricing as much as the other cards have. You can do some 4K gaming. 1440 is the sweet spot. You have all the DLSS 4.5 available to you. You have access to DLSS 5 that's coming out in the fall. The 5070 is probably the best bang for your buck when it comes to gaming right now. Very happy with it. And I very rarely do I run games native. We were talking about this last night when we were playing. It's when I'm running the NVIDIA app and I have the stats at the top of the screen, native always has high latency. and then I run DLSS balanced or performance or quality DLA, whatever. And then it's weird. The latency comes down. It's very strange. So in Project Valor last night, nothing on. We're running TSR, native, whatever. We're getting, Smokey and I think we're getting like 70, 80 frames. And my latency was in the high 40s. Okay. I drop that down. I take it to DLSS balanced. Our frames go up to 110 plus. And my latency dropped down to like 25, 30, somewhere in that neighborhood. But we got a lot of really bad hiccups in the game. So it's weird. But I love DLSS. I think it's fantastic. 500, but your graphics are dog shit is the same as playing 60 FPS with good graphics. Have you seen some of these kids that play nowadays? When they get to the pro levels or whatever, I've seen this guy that has his monitor on a weird angle. He has his hand underneath his keyboard, holding it like a guitar, and he has his eyes. He's like an inch from the screen, and he's doing all this shit. I don't know how do you play like that. How is that even fun? This guy looks. I mean, I would cramp up in the first 5 minutes of gaming. I mean, in a top 5 situation, and I would be like, "Oh, I can't move. Oh, my back! I got a cramp. I got a cramp." It just doesn't seem fun to me. It's like having an Ironman body and benching 100 pounds all day. I try to push everything native because FrameGen adds latency. Yeah, FrameGen does. DLSS does not. That's why I love DLSS. FrameGen adds a little bit to it. Some games it's necessary, like again, Gray Zone. Gray Zone Warfare is kind of the can it run Crisis situation. 20 years ago, that was the benchmark. Is can it run Crisis? If you could run Crisis, you could play anything. You're well off. And I think right now that's Gray Zone's the same thing. Can you play Gray Zone? Steam Machine's probably not going to play Gray Zone. I doubt it. I'm on a 5070. I'm on a 5070. And I use DLSS and I use FrameGen. And it's a very positive experience. I don't really notice any latency. And when they release the DLSS 4.5 update, hopefully soon to Gray Zone, it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. But I need those frames. I need the frames, and I don't want to sacrifice too much when it comes to graphics. But most games I try to stay away from FrameGen. FrameGen is kind of a last resort. I'll mess with DLSS first, get that fine tuned, and if I need to push a few extra frames, then I'll get frame generation involved. The nice thing with FrameGen is now we have dynamic FrameGen that automatically adjusts to hit the frame rate that you've set up. So, like, okay, for instance, I have on Gray Zone, I have my PC locked in at 120 frames. So that's where I need to hit. That's where I want to be at all times, right? So if with my settings, if it goes below the 120, dynamic kicks in immediately at 2 and gives me the 2x until we reach the 120. If he needs to, sometimes it kicks into 3x to get me back to the 120 again. I don't really notice much. There's a little bit of a hiccup from time to time, but I don't notice a whole lot of latency. And it's a great experience on Gray Zone. It wasn't a year ago. I couldn't say the same thing. But the game's come a long way since then. So, oh yeah, I wanted to ask you, did they do something with Gray Zone on the new update? Because before I was like 100 FPS, 140 FPS, and now I'm struggling to get 90. I haven't played in a while. Let me tell you the last time I played, and I'll tell you what my experience was. June 12th. June 12th. So I mean, it's been a couple of weeks. I have, and that was right after the 440 update, which came on June 4th. So yeah, I'm not really noticing much difference, but again, I haven't really changed my settings. I invite you to here. Let me do this. Why am I in this? That's weird. Okay, let me do this for you real quick here. is it? There it is. There you go. I think this will work. Oh, I sent it to Kick too. I forgot they're still part of the equation here. I don't stream over there anymore, but I'm part. I have to remove that from Mix It Up. But either way, I invite you. I put my settings out there. Someone asked me a couple weeks ago. I think it was Chaburoy asked me, and it took me a while, so I apologize. But it's there now. It's. I should pin it because it's gonna get buried again. But let me see. Let me pin this. Pin. Boom. There we go. Okay, so I put my updated settings that I run in Gray Zone. Again, I'm on a 5070, so your mileage may vary, but it's a good starting point. I would start with those settings and see where you go. But I haven't really noticed anything. Everything seems still really good on my end. Valor needs so much more optimization. Yeah, but it's also a pre. I'm not really expecting much when it comes to that. As a matter of fact, during their play testing, probably for the next 6 months, they probably won't want you touching anything and leaving it all native, which is fine. Yeah, like the guy using his controller flipped so his controls are on the bottom. Yeah. I run Gray Zone native, only get a little more than 100 frames. Okay. Imagine trying to play Gray Zone on a Steam machine. Well, they say that the I don't know what it'd be compared to. I have to look a little deeper to see exactly. But you know, the Series X is closer to like a 2060, I think was a 2060 Super. So in between a 2060 Super and a 3060. That's kind of where the Series X falls. I think the PlayStation's close to that. I don't really know. It's got to be similar though. I don't know where their hardware sits comparable wise there. I've seen people say it's between a Series S and a Series X, somewhere in there. That's probably more realistic. I don't know. But the 3060 struggle, I don't know about, does anybody here on anything older than that? Anybody here on a 2070 or a 2060 Super that plays Gray Zone? That would be the real telling tale, I guess. I'll bet you it'll run though, because the minimum that the game needs to run with default settings for the Steam machine is 1080p 30. It may do that. It may do that in the Steam machine. So I don't know. I would love for somebody to test that though. That needs to be done. Somebody needs to take the Steam machine and try to run Gray Zone on it and tell me what it does. Oh man. Gray Zone was actually not a game that gives your PC a heavy load though. No. I mean, it not CPU wise, only when it's doing shaders, but I mean, it goes for any game. When any game is loading shaders, that's when that's when your CPU starts kicking up at usually 100%. That's when my fans go nuts on my computer. And that does happen in game as well. Like when you're going from one spot to another and you see that little shader icon up in the top right-hand corner, that's when I hear my computer speed, and the fans are spinning up and they're, but I mean, it does put some strain on it. The 3060 held up on Gray Zone compared to the 5070 night and day, and the game being more optimized now. Yes, and you were limited. Smokey was limited. You were limited to 1080p on your 3060. You weren't doing 1440 on that. Mine shuts down randomly. Yeah, it's got to be the CPU. I'll bet you that's what it is. What are you running, Gear Bear? What do you run? What kind of what setup are you running? What's your GPU and CPU? The rest of it's irrelevant to me. I don't really need to know everything. Just CPU, GPU, and neither GPU or CPU barely peaks 40%. Wow. Okay. I'm on a 5800 X3D, and when the shaders are, when you go into new areas or shaders are, that fucker, she gets hot. But I mean, it's an X3D chip, so I mean, obviously they're going to get way hotter than the norm. Drop them spec. Yeah, baby. Come on, Gary Bear. What do you got, brother? Open that hood, man. We all want to stare at that engine. Pop the hood. Let's see what you got. I am actually going to try to play some Gray Zone later today, maybe tonight. I don't know. We'll see. And I'll do a little testing. Somebody was in here earlier. I don't know who it was. Was it Honda? Someone started playing earlier and then they escaped. It was probably free. Gare Bear's shy. He doesn't want to share with us. That's fine. That's okay. That's okay. No biggie. Okay. So 3060, 16 gig of RAM, 11th gen Intel i7 11700F. Okay. Are the 11, are you on water or are you on air? How do you cool that bad boy? I'm thinking if it's shutting down randomly, it's probably not your GPU. I'm thinking that your CPU is probably throttling, probably because of heat. Oh, you're on air? Got it. That could be a problem. Is that chip normally? Let's see, 11700F. TDP, I think TDP is what it is. 65 watts. That shouldn't get too hot. Under sustained heavy workloads or when turbo boost is enabled, it can draw over 120 watts of power. Yeah, it does. It gets hot. To avoid thermal throttling, you should pair it with a capable aftermarket CPU cooler rather than relying on the stock. Yes. Are you running stock Air Bear or you have something aftermarket? I would highly recommend, brother, to put some water on that bad boy. Both air and water coolers can effectively cool it, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Oh, this says that the Cooler Master Hyper 212, which has been out for fucking like 15, 20 years, will actually will do a decent job on it. So I don't know. It's weird that it randomly shuts down though. I would chalk that up as heat somewhere. Oh, you're on stock? Dude, get a different. Yeah. This says the Cooler Master, the Hyper 212, and you can get this thing like on Amazon for like under $20. I 100% I would never run, and I'm not here to shame you again. I'm here to help you. PSA, never run stock coolers on your shit. Never. Always get an aftermarket. Always. Because you got to remember the stock coolers were meant to do just the bare minimum for the average Joe. So when it comes to like these higher end things using AI, workstation type shit, and then gaming, it's not going to be adequate cooling. And so like you can, I would go with like the Cooler Master if it's, for a budget, but you can get some nice water setups for, $80, $100, sometimes less than that. But I would 100% change your cooling situation on it, and you'll have better performance across the board, because you got to also remember that your chip is going to be throttling before it even shuts down. So you're already losing once it gets to a certain TDP or the heat threshold. It's going to start throttling down so that it doesn't get too hot. But it sounds like it's just not even doing a good job of that, and then it's just shutting everything down. You get yourself some good cooling on that, and you'll have a better experience across the board, 100%. Why is Twitch asking for my credit card details from your alert? That's just, Manic. It's probably for Manic's OnlyFans. Your credit card wasn't accepted, so you might have to change the card in order to get more toe picks. Caffeinated, how you doing? Good to see you. Similar to mine, 3080, but 13th gen i9. Yeah, and then your Shadow, you got to have water on yours. I assume anything i9 you'd want to have water on it because they're just hot. Same with the X3Ds. The X3D chips over on the AMD side, you got to put water on them. That's what I'm running Hyper 2. Okay, so yeah, there you go, Smokey. They're great. I've had them on a handful of different computers. I've never had any issues. They're quiet. They do a great job. I mean, that's why they don't change that. That's why that one hasn't changed in 20 years. They made some changes to it, aesthetically, but it's remained basically the same design. I mean, I was running that on a DDR2 computer way back in the day. I'm pretty sure. How hard is it to install a liquid cooler or something I've been looking at? And AIO is easy because it's closed loop, so there's nothing for you to deal with. Now, if you get into like real water cooling, then it gets way more in depth, and you're gonna, unless you know what you're doing, you're gonna want somebody to do it for you, because then you run the risk of leaks, and you don't want leaks inside your PC. That's a bad. But everybody and anybody has access to an AIO. I would definitely recommend doing. They're very easy to do, very simple. What is your temps at? That's a good question. I also on mine, I've reduced the curve, and that has kept my temperatures down. I'm getting the same performance, but I'm getting it's using less power, which means that my temperatures stay down. But again, I'm a power user. Not most PC people are going to be doing that kind of stuff. But if you're running hotter things, this is kind of stuff that you want to start getting into. You want to start becoming a power user. If you really want to squeeze the max performance out of your PC, you're going to want to start getting into these types of things. You said I put water on my CPU and now my PC won't turn on. Ah, that sucks. Understatement. 1310 is busted. I was forced to update BIOS. I played Battlefield 6 beta. Had to quit after an hour because I could smell it legit burning. Oh, bro, I've heard some of these Intels, these i9s, are literally burning up on the motherboard. That's nuts, dude. But you know what? As an early adopter, we thank you. We thank you for being the guinea pig and figuring these and working out the kinks so that we can come along behind you and buy it after the problems have been fixed. So thank you. You're doing the Lord's work out here. Wow. I have an AMD Ryzen 7 8700F with an NVIDIA 5070. Your 8700F shouldn't be getting too hot. What does the F stand for? Oh, so it does not have, it does not have, it's not an APU like most of them are. I was under the impression, I thought someone told me that all AM5 processors were APUs, but it looks like this one says it requires a discrete graphics card. So it does not have a, the video, it does not have a GPU on it built into it. It's popular as a budget-friendly option for gamers and productivity, utilizing the Zen 4 architecture and built-in AI acceleration. 8-core. Okay. So the F must just mean it doesn't come with the GPU built onto the chip. Got it. Okay. So it doesn't look like that one runs too hot. It's at 65 watts. Yeah, you should be fine. Speedrunner, you should be fine with whatever you got on there. As long as it's not stock, you shouldn't need something crazy. Even if I'm not like a power user, like my computer out in the garage is very old and it's running an FX, a Bill Bulldozer, I think is what it was. It's running an FX 6300, and I have a aftermarket Silverstone thing on it. Even though I don't use it for anything other than just playing music. It's an overkill for what it is, but it looks cool. I like that. When AC is running, I run pretty cool. You just park your PC right in front of the AC. You're good to go. Old mini fridge is your case. There you go. I like that too. I'm swapping it out soon though. I want one of them partial AI CPUs that allegedly cut heating by another 20%. That'd be nice. The battle with heat is never going to change. That's just that's a fight as old as time itself. Trying to keep your shit as cool as possible to get the most performance out of it. I barely hit 70C between CPU and GPU. Good. My CPU hits 80 plus. It starts to throttle at like 91, I think. But it used to hit 91 on the regular with water. And then I started making some changes, and it runs bad. It runs badass, I should say. Sorry. No issues. I also have my side glass door off because the fucker holds all the hot air. Oh, damn. You need some Noctua fans. That's what you need. Let's see. Let's see if this tells me. Yeah, this thing does 105 watts, and I'm pretty sure the throttling's at like 91 degrees Celsius, which is high Fahrenheit. That's crazy. But these chips, these X3Ds, this is what is allowing AM4 platform to still be a viable option this day and age. But I dust my PC at least once a month. I'm bad at that. I don't think I've dusted my computers out in 6 months. But they're both open air, so there's not a whole lot of air. There's not really a lot of place for the dust to accumulate because there's no. I don't have really covers on anything, so there's no. Yeah, dust doesn't really get trapped anywhere, so I can get away with it a little bit longer. When I go DDR5, new fans in case. Like a bad idea unless you put an external fan next to it. If I had my side glass off, my cat will sleep in it. You need to put some chicken wire on that thing, dude. Make a side case out of like chicken wire or mosquito netting or something to keep the cat out of there. The cat would probably rip the netting, so you'd have to go with chicken wire. You know what? Do it, dude. Do it. I challenge you to do that, and then show us what your build looks like when you're done. That'd be great, dude. Oh man. What time is it? 2 o'clock. See if the wife is hitting me up. Nope. So she's working. All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I'm gonna end it right here. We'll just do a quick recap. So War Dogs. Oh, you know what? Gare Bear. Is Gare Bear still here? Anybody here? Okay, so anybody here that has a PlayStation 5 or a PC and wants to try something new. If anybody is interested, I'm going to be putting this in Discord later. There's a play test that's happening every Monday. I was finally involved in it yesterday. I had a really good time with it. We need more players. We need players. If anybody's interested in playing a BR that's being developed by PUBG, that's way different than the norm, that has a lot of problems, but is fun to play with the homies for a couple hours on a Monday night, I've got a game for you. We really need you guys in here. So I'll give you more information. Free has a bunch of invites. I think I have 2 or 3 that they gave me. If I can get more, I'll get more for you guys. If the demand's there, we will get you guys the codes to get involved in this. We just need more people to play. Fun. It's a fun game. Again, it's a play test, and it's an alpha, a pre-alpha. So it's not gonna run the best, but it's charming. It's just something about it. It's very charming. Okay, Gare Bear. I think if you're interested, we'll get you involved, brother. My PC's on the stand. Also, if it's not on my desk, I wish I could just not enough room. My gaming desk is 6 feet long, maybe 5. And with everything I have on it, I don't have really enough room. Both my PCs are in the corners of the desk, just barely hanging on the edge. because my monitors take up so much room, but they're behind everything. And I have no room left over. I actually have a little desk sideways next to me, and that's where I keep all my tchotchkes. But I really need my own gaming room, and I need to get some shelves behind me with all my shit, because I have so much stuff I like to display. That's coming down the road. Valor, get in there. I got codes. That's right. I thought it would mess up the air cycling if you leave it open. I do believe it does. Can you eat my homework for me? Maybe a little barbecue sauce, possibly. I don't know. Depends. Is it math homework? I don't like the taste of math homework. That sucks. English homework, I could probably do that. Yeah, I could probably do that. Possibly, I don't know. Is it vegan? Yeah. Is it vegan homework? Yeah. So yeah, we have that going on. I'm gonna be in the War Dogs. I'm part of the War Dogs playtest. I'm fucking excited. If they give me any codes to help, like to get a friend in or whatever, let me know if you're interested. I don't think there's going to be much interest in this. I'm kidding. We know that I think everybody here, even people that are limiting themselves to a console, is interested in War Dogs. So if I can get some codes, I'm gonna get some people in, because I also want a squad. I don't like going in playtests that are PvP and not getting in with randoms, because it's never a fun time. Never a fun time. So hopefully they give me some codes so I can get some people involved in this. But I know a lot of you guys are going to be interested in what I have to say about this. So stay tuned. That starts Friday evening, and then it runs Friday and Saturday, just those 2 days. That's it. It is plant-based paper. Okay, yeah, I could probably do that. I need to get into woodworking to build a desk that adequately meets your needs for a good desk. I just don't have any more room in here. This was as big as I could go in this room. We're downsizing soon. We have all of my children are grown with the exception of one. She has one more year of high school. We still have some adult children that live at home, but they're about to venture out on their own. So I'm going to take one of their bedrooms as my stream room for now. But the wife and we're actually considering selling our house this year. So then I'll have more room and time and things like that. So a lot of my time goes to just maintaining this huge fucking house. And I'm getting tired of it. It's just, we needed it, when we had 5 kids, we needed it. But now we're basically empty nesters. Nobody's ever here. The kids that are here we're on different schedules. We don't really see them. So life's going to be making some big changes here shortly. So, and then I'll have a bigger dedicated area that I can have all this cool shit displayed properly. Right now I'm kind of jam packed in the corner of my living room. My wife, her setup is right behind me, so we like to game together. Hit up Manic, he'll eat anything you put in his mouth. That's true. That is true. If you roll it up like a sausage, he'll eat anything. Double-decker desk, there you go. like bunk beds, but a desk setup. I like that too. Yeah, so there you go. Impulse tomorrow. Titanfall, which is the Titanfall spiritual successor, that comes out tomorrow. I think it's going to be free to play, but we don't know. We'll wait and see tomorrow. I might even try playing that tomorrow for you guys. We'll see, depending on what kind of time I have. I was able to stream for you guys for 3 hours today, just talking. My voice, I'm feeling it now. But if I can dedicate three hours to talking, I definitely dedicate 3 hours to gaming like I used to. So Impulse tomorrow, War Dogs on Friday. Project Valor on Monday. We need players. I'll give you more information on that, whatever I can, without getting kicked out of this thing. And then the last but not least is the Steam Machine. Don't read into all this. Don't get all hyped up by the negativity around this thing. It has a market. It has a place in this ecosphere. It will find its place. And I think the people that buy it for what it is are going to enjoy it immensely. I really do. But again, it's not for all of us. So he can't eat hot dogs without cutting the peel in them. He likes to run a straw through it. You should speak instead of talking. It's easier on the vocal cords. That's true. That I should enunciate properly. It's hard. It's hard to do, I have way too much caffeine to allow me to just enunciate. As I take another swig. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an honor to speak with you today, to entertain you for a few hours. I'm going to let you get back to your day. Bosses screaming at you, customers neglecting you. And I will see you probably tonight. If anyone's interested in playing some Gray Zone, we've talked about it enough today. I think I need to get back in there and check some things out. I will be on and around, and maybe some games tomorrow. Who knows? That's the beauty of this. You never know what I'm going to do in the morning. So everyone enjoy the remainder of their day. Thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.